get the baby, man.
I got a fast.
No, don't play it down here. Yeah, that's how I be too, bro.
Where you got this
How we looking, bro?
We live. Yeah, we live, baby. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. That's like 80 here. But you can see we got out.
We live.
We live?
Yes, sir.
Been live. I thought y'all heard that.
Yeah. Hang on. Let's go use the bathroom.
Now you gotta go use the bathroom.
No,
Our Negroes do it.
Boy.
right there. We'll get rolling.
Oh, we live. You know that.
How y'all do that?
That's why I got this camera.
Oh, okay.
Remember, I'm a genius.
Yeah.
And I never do it. And you should never do it between two lit ones already.
What you trying to say? I got my genius on today?
Then there's only one up here today. His name is already heavy.
Yeah. Let's get it, y'all.
All right. I guess everybody down there, you know,
Yeah, we know it.
order of prayer. So what we'll do at this point, we'll get this open in prayer with the Most High's permission. In the name of His only beloved and begotten Son, our uncrowned King, our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach.
Yes, sir.
We call him Jesus the Christ. Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms, in the 108th chapter, and it reads, "O Yah, my heart is fixed. I will sing and give praise, even with my glory. Awake, psaltery in heart. I myself will awake early. I will praise thee, O Yahweh, among the people, and I will sing praises unto thee among the nations. For thy mercy is great above the heavens, and thy truth reacheth unto the clouds. Be thou exalted, O Yah, above the heavens, and thy glory above all the earth, that thy beloved may be delivered. Save with thy right hand, and answer me. Yah hath spoken in his holiness. I will rejoice. I will divide Shechem, and mete out with valley of Sukkot. Gilead is mine. Manasseh is mine. Ephraim also is the strength of mine head. Judah is my lawgiver. Moab is my washpot. Over Edom will I cast out my shoe. Over Philistia will I triumph. Who will bring me into the strong city? Who will lead me into Edom? Will not thou, O Yah, who has cast us off? And will not thou, O Yah, go forth with our host? Give us help from trouble, for vain is the help of man. Through Yah we shall do valiantly,
Yes, sir.
for he it is that shall tread down our enemies. Hallelujah! Say
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. Shabbat shalom, family. Shabbat shalom to the worldwide family. Okay, y'all. What we're gonna do today is a class called Problem Determination, or to determine the problem and the solution or fix. It's kind of a form of what we like to do around here every now and then. We like to do a instant in season and out of season question and answer. So I have one topic that I'm gonna deal with for problem, determination, and solution, and it's based around the daughters of Zehoshaphat. But if anybody, in here or in the worldwide audience, if you got one or two more that you want to hit on, it appears to be a problem without understanding, and we have to get the solution for it. So anybody out there got any questions or concerns before we get rolling? So let them think about it. If any of y'all out there got anything, this has been a problem on my mind. I'm not seeing like I'm getting the right or correct answer to deal with this, and what is the solution for it? Because the scripts say, ain't nothing new that didn't happen to man. That's right. That is uncommon. That's right. It didn't already happen before, in the sense that you ain't, you should never be able to say you ain't walked in my shoes before. Right. Somebody had. So with that, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and get rolling. Anybody got anything in here? Anything on your heart, mind, or soul? Anything? I was looking out there too, Bob. What you got, bro?
I was just wondering, what the Bible says for marijuana?
About
Marijuana weed.
About right.
Or smoking.
Yeah. So we got we can do that as well as problem and determination as well, because we want to cover all bases, y'all. So we got another problem. If it's a problem, do you feel it's a problem?
No, it's not a problem. I actually was thinking about starting from 100 years without working, because of drug tests and all that type of stuff. But,
well, we can deal with that as far as a problem and determine the solution, because it's a problem for you on your job. It's a problem if your state say, we better not catch you with it.
It's your God.
Right, well, I'm retired now.
Okay.
So I'm not with the job anymore. That's what I'm thinking about smoking.
Puff ass.
So basically what he's asking about is a seed-bearing herb. And that's what the law teaches us about what herbs are permissible. And he said every herb that bears seed in itself is permissible. Genesis 1:29
and 30.
Yes, sir. And we can also
Shouldn't act like that.
get some understanding first. Let's read those really quickly and get some understanding before we get to our topic in hand. And let me know too about if anybody else come up with anything out there they want us to hit on. Let's get to it. Genesis 1:29.
Yep.
And look, what we want to do is we want to bring this full circle, because we have to deal with Romans 13. We're going to bring that up. We need to bring that up so before we get, too deep into how to deal with this, because some will say, well, I obey God more than I do man. Well, we need to get some clear understanding before you make that statement, because you'll find yourself in a situation a little bit more hectic than worrying about puffing one or two.
Right. We're going to be reading in the book of Genesis, chapter 1, and I'll read 29 through 31.
Yes, sir.
So this is the last three. And it reads, and Yah said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth.
Where he said it was on the face of?
Of all the earth.
So we have a problem, y'all. We got to look at the situation a lot of times with the new diets and everything that's going on, keto diets and different things. Seaweed is being implemented. Seaweed don't grow on the earth, do it?
No.
So we have to relook at that. Is it seed bearing?
I don't think so.
So we have to really look at that, because he'd rather have obedience versus sacrifice.
That's right.
If you sacrifice to something that you shouldn't be doing to help you out, you're still hustling backwards.
Yeah.
Because in the long run, you're just making a sacrifice for maybe a leaky gut, so to speak. Go ahead, bro.
And every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed.
A fruit of a tree yielding seed. Now we know what Monsanto is doing.
Right.
It's killing everything, and they are in charge of all the seeds, y'all. They handling business. What y'all shorties doing over there? Okay, so they handling all of the seeds, majority. Got to pretty much go to them unless you get a lock on something. So, but they still should produce after themselves.
It's Bear Aspirin now.
It's Bear Aspirin.
It's not Monsanto anymore.
Oh, Bear Aspirin got it now.
It's
huh?
Bear.
Just they brother, they little brother taking over. Huh?
Yeah, the pharmaceutical
The
industry.
names have changed to protect the innocent.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, brother.
To you, it shall be for meat.
What shall it be?
It shall be for meat.
Okay.
Verse 30.
Yeah.
And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth wherein there is life,
Right.
I have given every green herb. Every green herb.
Y'all hear that? So when we're talking about every green, there's lettuce, you know, all of them,
Parsley.
parsley, sage,
Yeah.
and you have to understand that at one time, you know, you could technically, a lot of people do what's called edibles. That they're now, you know, make brownies, they do things, and it's just used as an ingredient. Well, some will say, well, you ain't supposed to smoke it. Well, who said that? You know, and who informed and where they getting the instructions from of how you can do or ingest. So we're not gonna go down that rabbit hole with that. But are you finished that? You still got a little bit more to go? Okay.
I have given every green herb for meat, and it was so.
And it was what?
And it was so.
Okay.
And Yah saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. See, everything else was so, and it was, I was just looking at that. But once he got down in the green herbs,
Yeah.
everything was very good.
Very good.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Between so and very good.
Yeah.
So y'all, go ahead, bro.
And then that's in the evening and the morning were the sixth day.
Right.
Right, that's it.
So when we see that of seed bearing herbs and we go into Leviticus around the feast days, it tell the priest what to do. Some say the scripture, you can look up the term kenobosin, you know, and that kind of correlates back that the priests were burning in the temple. So look at that, it's some things surrounding that. But y'all, that's not the only thing that we use as far as herbs is concerned, because everything on the planet was used for medicine. You have stronger herbs. You have the poppy plant. You have the coca leaf, but it was not processed to be used as a drug to drive people crazy on the streets of all of the ghettos of St. Louis. Coca was used just to rub on gums if they're gonna pull a tooth out. It's only when they add the synthetics to it. And when you add chemicals to anything natural, that's where it go off at.
Giving it addictive property.
Yes, sir, that's what it does, gives it an addictive property. You know, go ahead, bro.
So that make it was weed now, you smell it from the car way ahead.
I don't know what they doing with some of this stuff now, but you gotta have it in a glass jar, or you can smell it 3 miles away.
And it don't have seeds from it.
And some of it don't have seeds, so I'm not sure what's going on with this stuff now, but
I know
we're
why
not
it
to
don't
be
got
just
seeds.
labor on it like it's something to do. If it's used for medicinal purposes, you know, if it's used for health reasons, but let us get it understood. The highest death is alcohol.
To get rid of the seeds,
Yeah.
they take away the male plant.
Yeah.
Ain't that funny?
Yes, sir.
And the other thing is that the difference with MSG itself is like crack.
Yeah,
Food.
yeah,
And you find yourself constantly eating something because you're craving it.
yeah.
You don't have a craving for weed.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to, I have to have it, that all you want to do is just feel good all the time. It's not a craving of saying I can't do without it. I have to have red hot riplets every day because it's the MSG that's in them that's got me addicted to them, and now they're like crack to me.
Why you want to bring my chips up?
Right. See, and then, you know, another thing that when he's speaking of is like the addictive quality that they put on it. It's like what they got called nicotine. You're not addicted to tobacco. It's the nicotine. They give you Nicorette. They give you the patch. They ain't giving you no tobacco patch. They ain't giving you nothing of the natural things that's grown on the earth. They're trying to wean you off of the chemicals, the synthetics that they put on these products. So y'all, and that's where it comes from. So we have to understand the difference in natural versus unnatural. Now, back in the day, they had something they used to call a wet willy. And that's dipping the seed-bearing herb in LSD or pharmaceutical or embalming fluid. So it has nothing to do with that. Not only this, but there has never been on planet Earth one recording of one death associated with cannabis.
Being too high.
Overdose.
Never, not one. Not one on record. You know, but it's not for you to be sitting around, get lazy, eat up everything in the house, can't go to work because you get blowed. If you wake up to anything and you have to have that to get your day started, it may be an issue with what you're doing. So now we got, after we've understood that we legalized, it's legal, then let's go to where there's another seed-bearing herb that was used in the scripture that has dangerous qualities, and it's called mandrake. So if you will, give me some Genesis 30th chapter, and we'll see that Rachel presented this to Jacob to produce children. Now, this was an aphrodisiac used back in the day. Give me a mandrake out of the dictionary too. I want to show what its qualities were. But what we have to understand through all of the teachings of mandrake, its roots are deadly. To eat its roots is poisonous. It would kill you. Y'all, we got a lot of questions about mushrooms. Are mushroom seed-bearing herbs, or is it fungus growth? Because it doesn't grow of itself, it grows in wet, damp, moldy places. Is it seed-bearing or is it a fungus? Dig deep, y'all, and understand yourself, you know, and there's various forms out there. People say, well, what about portobello? We're talking about seed burn. That settles the matter. If that's there, we're not arguing the case. If you find some that's seed burn, we're not arguing the case. We're just telling you the majority of them grow in wet, damp, fungal places like athlete feet. Athlete feet gonna be where it's wet and it's damp. So let's hit a little bit of this Genesis 30. Give me right where Reuben went into the harvest. Where we at?
It's in started like, it's like 14, 15, and 16 where they talk about it.
That's where, I guess if I get into Genesis and get out of Exodus, I'll see what you see.
Yeah, that might help you.
Yes, sir.
14,
15, and 16.
We start about there, y'all. We just want to get right to the heart of the matter. And what I want to do is get the dictionary, and then y'all get the dictionary and get the definition of what cannabis qualities are. It'll say sophoric or sophoric and cathartic. Meaning what it does, it gives you kind of what's called tunnel vision, or dulls the awareness to the point that where it keeps you focused on one thing. You mess around and get up 35,000 feet, you're gonna be trying to come back down because you can say something for 2 seconds and you not remember what you just said. Yep. What did I just say? See, that's why we have to be careful that we cannot promote this like just using it like it's going out of style just because it's being legalized. Everything must be took or taken into moderation. Every item that to point that if you can't walk away from it in 3 seconds, it's a problem. The only thing that was given to us, bread and water and the breath of life. Anything outside of that, the body don't need. It's added maybe for a healing quality, so to speak. But if you find yourself knocked out all the time, miss some job appointments, then you're going to have to really back up on what's happening. So go ahead, boy, get a little bit of that Genesis 30 for me.
In the book of Genesis, chapter 30, verse 14. And Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest, and found mandrakes in the field, and brought them unto his mother Leah. Then Rachel said to Leah, give me, I pray thee, of thy son's mandrakes.
So Reuben, the firstborn of Jacob, went out to the wheat harvest. Notice how it was growing out there amongst the wheat. Wow. You know, mandrake was. So you got mandrake right there?
Yep.
Go ahead, give us that definition and description of it.
All right, mandrake in the New College edition of the American Heritage Dictionary of the English language. It says the first definition is a Eurasian plant, mandragora, a facinera, having purplish flowers and a branched root thought to resemble the human body.
So almost when you dig mandrake up, it almost looks like a voodoo doll, the root of it. It looks like it got a head, 2 arms, and legs. And you Google it, you'll see exactly what we're speaking of. Go ahead, bro.
From which a narcotic was formerly prepared.
From which a what?
A narcotic was formerly prepared.
So it was prepared as a narcotic. So we see these medicines in the Bible, y'all. You just can't get self-medicated all the time that where you're medicated and you're unconscious. If whatever you own and it has you unconscious, so to speak, that you don't know what's going on around you, at any time the second coming could happen. If you like this and then somebody, come on, man, ask him, can he come back in about an hour? I don't want to let go of this ride, man. Ask the Messiah, can he come back? Boy, I'm riding, boy. Ooh. No. The train gonna be gone.
And you sitting there talking about, look at the pretty colors.
Look at the pretty colors. Yeah, go ahead, Jesus. Go ahead.
And then it says, this plant was once widely believed to have magical power. Then the second one is a North American plant, the May apple.
The May what?
The May apple.
So y'all, this is where the term, when you're looking at apple in the Bible, is called the May apple as well. Because you can eat its fruits, but its roots was poison. You know, but it'll tell you its qualities are sulfuric and cathartic as you do a little bit deeper study. When you get into cannabis, it'll say the same thing. Sulfuric or cathartic, meaning dulling the awareness because they were aphrodisiacs.
Didn't that give it though in the beginning of the definition said something about Europe?
Well, it's just saying the areas where they grow in. So now give me back Songs of Solomon 7:13.
I'm right there already.
We didn't even read it.
Did we finish that?
Did you finish that? Did you finish that, Genesis?
You
That was 14.
Yeah, go ahead and finish where
No,
we
you
at.
got 2 more. Go ahead.
Finish reading
15
that.
and 16.
15 and 16. So y'all, we're going to get right through this and then we're going to get to Romans 13. I want y'all to grab that because it's something very important because people will be saying they teaching them down there to do that and they know they can get locked up for it. We're not teaching you anything. We're teaching you what's legal. But when you're in your captivity, there's rules to abide by. Because like we're saying, you don't have to have it. Because it's legal don't mean you have to have it.
Right.
Alcohol legal, but you don't have to drink it.
You don't, right, absolutely.
Some people don't like it.
Where we at?
Verse 15.
What it say?
And she said unto her, it is a small matter that thou hast taken my husband.
Right?
And wouldst thou take away my son's mandrake also?
She like, well, you gonna take my son? Look, you done took my husband. But when you get into some, in the book of Issachar, in the testament of the 12 patriarchs, you see that Rachel had to question and straighten Leah out for this type of stuff. She was like, look, don't get it twisted. Jacob was my husband, worked for me for 7 years, and another 7 on top of that, and then 6 before Laban let it go. It was a 20 ball for Rachel that he worked for 20 years for this one woman. One life he said, give me all these other wives. No, that was something else that came in. That was added to the program.
What you mean by that straightening Leah out was that Rachel was putting her in her place.
Yeah.
Just because you got married to him first, it's not the way this thing was intended.
Right.
He didn't work for you. He worked for me.
That's right. He got tricked.
So get in order, in line where you're supposed to be.
That's right.
The number 2 wife.
That's right. Let her know, but this was payback for what Jacob did to Isaac when him and his mother tricked their dad. Right. The Most High say, I repay you to your face. And there's some other issues that came up with that because the script say you can't marry 2 sisters when both of them are alive.
Boom.
He's married to 2 sisters. Both of them alive. It vexes the parents because if they get into a squab about the man, which side the parents gonna take? Should they take Rachel or should they take Leah's side?
They both take daughters.
So these were laws that prevented these happenstances, so to speak. So we got a whole lot of things tied up in here before we even get to the issue. Now we got mandrakes on the line. And mandrakes was used as an aphrodisiac. Look, it was back then what we would call the Viagra of the day. But all natural. All natural. Did we finish that?
We call that gin.
Yeah.
But I want to say something real quick, brother. What's going on right here, right now, in these 3 verses, is Leah and Rachel are sisters married to Jacob. And it's Rachel's turn with her husband. But her sister Leah is asking, or did I say I'm backwards? Reuben, so it's Leah, Reuben's son, Leah's son, Reuben, went out to the field and got these mandrakes. And Rachel said, Leah, can I have your turn with Jacob tonight instead of you?
Right.
And she said, yeah. And she said, well, can I get the mandrakes too? And then she's saying, is it not enough that you asked for my husband, but you want my mandrakes too, to go with it?
Look.
These plants that they're getting are for sexuality uses.
That's right.
So she's like, you want my husband and my mandrakes?
That's right.
What about when my turn come back, I ain't gonna have none. It's like, that's what's going on.
Right.
She's saying, you want my husband and my mandrakes.
Right.
See what I'm saying? But this plant itself is used, what we're going to go look at in this second witness, is used for sexual purposes.
That's right.
That's what we're going to see in detail with this one.
And y'all, and like you're saying, what bro is saying is very detailed, y'all. This is the book of life. It's going to touch on subjects like this that some may find offensive. But it's the book of life. It deals with every area of human life. So when Rachel and Leah, like he's saying, is my night tonight, you done took my son's mandrakes, you know what's next. But basically she's saying, I need them at full strength. Not a 2-pump chump tonight. I need them at full strength. I need a baby put in me tonight.
2-pump chump.
I don't need them sleep before we go get the rag. So finish that up and we'll get some more clearer understanding of what we're talking about.
Rest of verse 15.
What it say?
And Rachel said, therefore, he shall lie with thee tonight.
He shall do what?
He shall lie with thee tonight.
Right.
For thy son's mandrakes. And Jacob came out of the field in the evening.
Where he come from?
Out of the field.
See, this man at work. He come from work. Let's read some more.
And Leah went out to meet him and said, thou must come in unto me.
Right.
For surely I have hired thee with my son's mandrakes. And he lay with her that night.
And what he do? He did what?
He lay with her that night.
Let's see what happened after that.
And Elohim hearkened unto Leah, and she conceived and bare Jacob the 5th son.
So we see it's a cause for conception. To make pregnant. The reason being is cathartic and sulfuric. See if y'all grab them two words for me too. I keep mentioning when you get a chance. Cathartic and sulfuric. Because what it is, it dulls the awareness of where your mind is totally on the business at hand. You're not thinking about work and what I gotta do. I didn't get that field plowed over there like I should, because then you're gonna be out of this performance very shortly if something else on your mind. Because y'all, all of this is mental anyway. It's the mental strength up here.
Hey, Daddy.
Yeah.
The opposite of that be lethargic. The opposite could be lethargic. Then lethargic, you don't know what's going on.
Right. Well, lethargic is you just out of it. You know, somebody have to tell you, hey, your shoes on the wrong feet, and it's two different shoes. Oh, okay. That's lethargic. You just don't know what's going on. You're out of the awareness.
Right. Are you trying to say sulfuric?
That's what I mean.
Sulfuric.
Yeah,
Sulfuric,
I say I'm trying to say
acid?
no, not sulfuric acid.
Sulfuric.
Sulfuric.
Okay, because they didn't come up.
Do cathartic. It'll lead you back to
cathartic.
Yeah, it'll lead you back to sulfuric.
Oh, man.
But when y'all find it, but go ahead, if you finish reading that, you finish on that, that's good. Let's get some give me some so we can get to the lesson at hand. Give me some Songs of Solomon chapter 7. Start about verse 13 unless you need to back it up. And we'll see where this was at and who it was dealing with. Songs of Solomon 7.
Songs of Solomon chapter 7. You want to just read it? It's at 13.
You can bag it up. We're going to see some more seed-bearing herbs in there. Okay, y'all.
It's only 13. You want to do the whole thing?
Start at verse 10. See, y'all, all the Songs of Solomon is a love poem. Some say it's a love poem between Israel and the Messiah. Or is it Solomon and the Shulamite woman? But it's some very interesting things in here. But it's a song of love, of a man and a woman, a courtship. So we're just picking up about verse 10 of that 7.
Oh, I got cathartic right quick.
What cathartic say?
Providing psychological relief through the open expression of strong emotions, causing catharsis. Crying is a cathartic release.
Right, so it said it causes a release. But it got some more in there. Do it lead to sulfuric?
2 is purgative, chiefly of a drug, purgative. That's all we got on here.
So it may be in that one.
I can't find either one.
I'll find it, y'all. Yeah. As soon as we get to read good, know exactly where it's at. Go ahead, y'all. Where we at? That's Songs of Solomon.
Songs of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 10.
Yeah.
I am my beloved.
Right.
And his desires toward me.
Right.
Come, my beloved, let us go forth into the field. Let us lodge in the villages. Let us get up early to the vineyards. Let us see if the vine flourish.
Right.
Whether the tender grape appear, and the pomegranates bud forth.
See, the pomegranate bud forth. So it has seed and root, right? So this speaking of a pomegranate, which is very good for us, y'all. Some, you hear a lot of wives' tales, so to speak, about it, that it has, each pomegranate has 613 seeds to match the law. I don't know who counted all of them seeds. I ain't seen no video of it yet, so it may be just talk. It may be the same talk when people want to play with a hexagram. They start saying it's part of nature. It's like a honeycomb. Well, where are honeycombs?
Right.
And when them bees get through stinging you leave a honeycomb alone. Well, it looks like a snowflake. Ain't got nothing to do with the scriptures about looking like nothing. They're designed for what they're designed for. You look up pomegranate, tell you it's good for curing this, or, with bladder infection, it may tell you exactly what the pomegranate does. But it's not to replicate anything that we're told to wear. That's an idol it would be at that point. Where we at?
And the pomegranate budded forth. There will I give thee my love.
Right.
The mandrakes give a smell.
What they do?
Give a smell.
See, the mandrakes give a smell. And y'all know what that
Smell like.
THC give a smell. From a mile away. Go ahead.
The mandrakes give a smell, and at our gates are all manner of pleasant fruits, new and old, which I have laid up for thee,
Now
my beloved.
Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines. So this is 1,000 women. So Mandrake was on the scene. It had to be because there's still due benevolence with every wife.
Or as it says in verse 12, I give thee my love.
Yes, sir. So you can keep stacking them up, but if you don't do benevolence to each wife, there's a problem with law. So Mandrake was around. And this is just what we're showing you, that we're not calling it marijuana. Marijuana is what it is, but what we're saying is there's closely related seed-bearing herbs that are used for certain issues in life to keep you off the chemicals. So y'all, with that, we just go right to Romans 13, then we're going to get to the lesson at hand, because we don't want anybody saying that we're teaching you to do that and you may be in violation of the law in your state or city. We would never ever cause you to get that jacket put on yourself and cause harm to you.
Have you ever smoked before? Is this a first time I'm going to
No.
decide
I used to smoke back in the day, but
Negro, please, you better for it. You better go on the fire. You better go on the fire.
Well, look, what we're talking about, bro, is still we got to get to the law of the land. See, before you do anything, anywhere, you have to make sure it's in accordance. It's obedience versus sacrifice. See, you may have made a sacrifice and said, well, as long as I'm working, I know they're going to P-test me. I'm not going to mess with it. That's a sacrifice you made. But even after that sacrifice is over and you say, I'm retired, you still have to be in accordance with the law of that land, or you're going to find yourself behind the 8 ball and you're going to blame the Most High. Or you will blame the rulers of the land for it. And you just cannot do it. We're not going to put you in that position. If you are so gun-ho on it, they got states you can move to right now. If you that bad. Right, now I'm not talking to you, it's not to you in general, I'm speaking to the whole audience.
Illinois.
You know, so you can go Illinois in January the 1st. So
that's
you
right.
have to
This recreation over there,
understand.
huh?
You have to understand, y'all, what we're informing you of. We're not informing you to break the law of the Most High. What we're telling you that what they are criminalizing and prosecuting people on, there has never been recorded one death on earth related to it. Now, we said cathartic and so for real. You may find yourself at a stop sign waiting on it to turn green. You done went too far. You got to come down. You 35,000 feet, you need to come down. And you're going to be sitting there for a while.
Sober.
Let's get it. Romans 13, y'all, and 1. Y'all, and this is because we are in the land of our captivity. And let's get this straight. The Most High say, when he's saying no power but of the Most High, he say, I put them in charge. And I told them to run it like this. Ain't nothing we can do about that, y'all. Because you don't have to have it. You don't have to have it. So you can't make a law work for you because it's in the Bible and it gets you in trouble. That's not how the Bible works. Romans 13 and 1, what does it say?
Romans chapter 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher power.
Let every soul be what?
Subject to the higher power.
The higher power is the Most High. Every soul be subject to it. Let's read some more.
For there is no power but of Yahweh. The powers that be are ordained of Yahweh.
See, so the powers that be are ordained of the Most High. Did the Most High ordain America in its power structure? Did he ordain that?
That's how they got there.
If you say no, then we got a problem with you trying to explain Daniel and talking about Babylon. Because he said, I raised these nations up that I may show my power in them. Wherever the Israelites were in captive, that nation ruled the world at that time. Egypt ruled at that time, Assyria ruled at that time, Babylon ruled at that time. Now America rules and we're their slaves. He has to put you in a position like that so that we may call on him and come back to him. Unless a nation, we wouldn't. But because America is what we call a superpower and we're their slaves still, he said you won't be able to defeat them. That's why I put you there. If you can defeat them, you won't need me. What would you need the Most High for? Let's read some more.
I got second witness. 2 Chronicles chapter 6, verse 36.
What you say, what, chapter 6?
2 Chronicles chapter 6. I'm going to read 36 through like 38. 39. 2 Chronicles chapter 6, verse 36. If they sin against thee, for there is no man which sinneth not, and thou be angry with them, and deliver them over before their enemies, and they carry them away captives unto a land far off or near. Yet if they bethink themselves in the land whither they are carried captive.
If they do what?
If they bethink themselves.
See, if you think I'm an Israelite, and I know why I'm here because of the transgressions of my forefathers. I'm in here because of bad behavior. That's bethink yourself. Don't get beside yourself. You cannot make this land home. Right. It ain't gonna never be home. Right. You can set up all of the camps you want. You can try to organize. You can have a white man kiss your feet on the street corner. But guess what? In the morning when you wake up, guess who's still gonna be in charge?
That white man.
Yeah. Let's read some more.
Yet if they bethink themselves in the land whither they are carried captive, and turn and pray unto thee.
And turn and do what?
Pray unto thee in the land of their captivity, saying, we have sinned.
We have done what?
We have sinned. We have done amiss. We have dealt wickedly. If they return to thee with all their heart,
right, and
with all their soul in the land of their captivity, whether they have been carried them captives, and pray toward their land, which thou gavest unto their fathers, and toward the city which thou hast chosen, and toward the house which I have built for thy name, then hear thou from heaven, even from thy dwelling place, their prayer and their supplications, and maintain their cause, and forgive the people which have sinned against thee.
So you see that the cause wherever you're carried away captive, pray for the cause, y'all. That's very good script, bro. So y'all, the understanding is clear. There's instructions when you're in captivity. You cannot apply at home rules in somebody else's land. He said you must first bind the strong man to take his house. You ain't got no Navy, you ain't got no Air Force, you ain't got nothing. All your bullets is gone on December the 31st. Because you're shooting them up in the air for New Year's. Where we at? Read some up.
Verse 2. Whosoever therefore resisteth the powers,
right,
resisteth the ordinance of your house.
See, so now that's a problem and people get mixed up. Shalom, bro.
Yeah, shalom, brother.
So, you know, you have to be careful, y'all, that we don't get this mixed up. And you start to say, I should obey God rather than man. Well, when God sets a man up and he say obey that man, you cannot argue with the Most High.
That's right.
You can try, but your arms are too short to box. Let's read some more, it's gonna get clearer.
And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation.
They should receive what?
To themselves damnation.
Right.
For the rulers are not a terror to good works.
The rulers are not a terror to what?
Good works. But to the evil.
But to the evil. See, y'all, and what we're talking about, yeah, we know it's some bad police out there, y'all. And we know a lot of them giving you free cases out there, black and white, Jew and Gentile. But it's set up for the evil. They will prosecute their own. It's just more evidence needed before they prosecute one of us. Because we're already looked at like the problem child. So it's like when somebody says something happened, who broke that lamp? Well, who known for running in the house? So they gonna go look at them first, the runners, because they're known to knock a lamp off a table or something. So in like manner, the nation look at us and judge us before we even get where we need to be and put judgment on us. But y'all look, it would be one thing if it was no other people of other nations locked up. But you got governors in jail. Martha Stewart went to jail. Yep. Bernie Madoff with everybody's money is doing life.
Showing up today.
Yeah, Steve Stanger showing up today. He was bribing more people than the La Costa Nostra.
He didn't care.
And they still using the buildings he built.
Right.
But he locked up.
But he's going to jail because it say it's there for a ruler. Y'all, and this is what we have to deal with. Something is not for us to try to decipher this thing. Anybody Google me, Public Law 97-280. Just Google it real quick. Anybody got that and read that for me as we continue to read on. Somebody else, finish reading this, whoever had that. That Romans 13.
All right, where was that? Oh.
Give me Public Law 97-280. Somebody Google it for me.
Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power?
See, and this is why when Pilate came to Messiah and he was saying, you know I can let you go. I got power like that. The Messiah wasn't saying nothing. He was just keeping his mouth closed like you're supposed to do.
Right.
Quit running your mouth. He told Pilate, he said, you don't have power to do nothing except what my Father give you. Now, if you saying, oh, y'all just some heathen lovers, then the Messiah said the same thing to Pilate. The only power you got is what my Father has delivered unto y'all. I can call a legion of angels right now and take this government down, but my time is not yet. That's for the second coming, not the first one. So y'all, we see here that the Messiah did these things according to the record. Go ahead. Shalom, y'all.
Do that which is good.
Do that which is what?
Good. And thou shalt have praise of the same.
Right.
For he is the minister of Yahweh to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. For he is the minister of Yahweh, and revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil.
So he's saying, look, he's only here to put that heat on you for who do evil. Look, the problem we have with the police is they behind us and I got bad stickers. Dang.
Every time they mess with me, I was doing something.
It don't matter no more.
If they're on your head, there's something going on that you know they're on your head, man. Get that right, man. Put that under there. Put that under the seat. If you're illegal, then it's a terror for you. Now, I'm not saying being in here, they can get behind you. We heard Levi Raphael talk a lot of times that he knew that the captain of the police station down there, the sheriff, would ride in the Ku Klux Klan mask and pick them up. But they had to jump on the back of the truck and then jump off. But he heard the voice. This the sheriff.
Right. Recognize.
So y'all, what that shalom is, what they doing is the part what they came into fault is they exceeded the affliction. They took it to another level. They started judging us in the streets and killing us, but that wasn't for them. And eventually the Most High say, I got your back, I'm gonna pay them back. Y'all, they end up getting it. A lot of what we don't see because we don't see them on the news, we see them getting off on court cases, but y'all don't understand the visitations that they have in dreams. Look up what happened with them Dallas police. Look up with all of the police what happened in Baltimore with Freddie Gray. Look up, just Google it right now. The police officers involved with Freddie Gray, where are they now? And you're going to be stunned at what you see. Yo, because the Most High said, I know how to get them. I get them in their sleep. See, they'll be asleep and Freddie Gray will walk by the edge of their bed. See, we outside protesting ain't gonna do nothing about what's going on in a man's head in the middle of the night. Y'all, they'll be tormented in their sleep. But you got Public Law 97-280, where that? Let me see that. Public Law 97-280. Introduced as Senate Joint Resolutions 165 with 33 co-sponsors, as House Joint Resolutions 487 with 219 co-sponsors. Let me get on down to it. The 97th Congress of the United States publicly declared in 1983 the National Year of the Bible. The bipartisan document known as Public Law 97-280 was signed on October the 4th, 1982 by the Speaker of the House, Thomas P. O'Neill, President of the Senate. This is what it states. And by Strom Thurmond, the President of the United States, Ronald Reagan, it reads as follows. Whereas the Bible, the word of Yah, has made unique contribution in shaping the United States as a distinctive and blessed nation of people, whereas deeply held religious conviction springing from the Holy Scriptures led to the early settlement of our nation, whereas biblical teachings inspire concept of civil government that are contained in our Declaration of Independence and Constitution of the United States. Understand what this is saying. It's saying the Bible trumps our Constitution.
Right. And we're basing our Constitution off the Bible.
Yeah, it built our way of living.
Right.
Finish reading. Whereas the history of our nation clearly states the value of volunteering, applying the teachings of the Scripture in the lives of individuals, families, and society, whereas this nation now faces great challenges that will test this nation that has never been tested before. Whereas that renewing our knowledge of and faith in Yah through Holy Scripture can strengthen us as a nation and people. Now therefore be it resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America and Congress assembled that the President is authorizing and requested to designate 1983 as the National Year of the Bible in recognition of both formative influence the Bible has been for our nation and our national need to study and apply the teaching of the Holy Scripture. Now, cause they do same-sex marriage ain't got nothing to do with what that just said. Right. Those are just violators of their own law that they established.
Right.
But still, every court you walk in, you have to put your hand on what? On the Bible. Ain't no Egyptian scrolls, ain't no Buddhism, ain't none of that you're putting your hand on but the Bible. So they cannot and will not be charged for the Most High bringing us here and putting us in captivity. They won't spend a day in captivity for that. He did that. But the affliction part, taking it to another level, castrations and hanging, all of that, they decided to rush to judgment on us. That's what this nation will be judged by. So when they set up laws, y'all, to keep us from fighting, if we fight, like I say, recreational, mind-altering substances, and we battling like it's gonna do something, move to where you don't have a problem. Know the laws in Missouri for cannabis. You must know the laws. They say if we catch this much on you, this is what's going to happen to you.
Oh, man.
If you got that on you and you don't have that amount or less, there's going to be a problem for you.
Do you remember the case about 2 weeks ago? The little cat they killed because he was sitting in his car at 1 o'clock in the morning serving people selling marijuana, had a little 7-year-old girl in the back seat. He was sitting, and the prosecutor, Kim Gardner and another sister here, was tweeting to each other, saying the police wasn't even supposed to be bothering with him because he didn't have enough now that we're going to prosecute him for. They said they should have left him alone to sell the weed out there because he didn't have enough that they would say we're going to, 100 grams is what you can have. He had less than 100 grams. They said the police should have been messing with him.
Only if he had baggies in there. See, because you can have enough don't mean you can be a seller. They're not allowing you to sell it here in Missouri. They say if you missed that deadline in August, they say they had 150,000 applications or something. If you miss the deadline, you out in Missouri.
No entrepreneur.
So you cannot become your own distributor and cause a problem for yourself in Missouri. If you're gonna argue this, I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm just telling you, go to Colorado, go to Illinois in January, or go to California. But I'm not gonna argue here in Missouri and protest in front of a police station when they say we're not gonna give you the opportunity to have your head blown off like that. If you arguing for it like that, y'all, all we're saying is stay in the guidelines of the laws of the land, and you gonna have less money coming out of your pocket. Because if you don't, they're going to see the affliction on you. 70% of the people locked up here in the United States or in Missouri is on cannabis charges that they took a plea deal for. More than the state allowed. Right now you can Google Missouri cannabis law and it will tell you if an individual is found with this much in his possession, this is what's going to happen to him. It's just like the same thing. If we find a bottle of Hennessy with that cap popped open, you are going to jail.
You might have drunk it yesterday.
Right.
You got that open bottle in there.
You cannot have open alcohol in the state. Look, see, because then they think you getting around drinking and driving. Because you figure, well, I'll drink while I'm driving and then I'll just be drunk wherever I end up. No, you can't use that. So y'all, that's all we saying in a nutshell about that. You know, and then you got some groups out here that say the Indians are the tribes of Israel, but not once do they ever talk about what's in them Indians' peace pipe, do they? No. You ever seen that in their documentation? We know what was in them peace pipe, but they don't mention it one time, but yet they'll tell brothers, but that's only because they're charging them 20% tax. They can't allow you to have any recreational fun with your money. That money belongs to us. You keep your mind clear on folks and getting out there to the mall tables, hooting and hollering, and bring us that money back here. Ain't got no time for that other stuff. But it ain't to be found in the Bible to tell you to do anything, y'all. What we tell y'all is obey the law of the land.
That's right.
It's easy, you're gonna have less problems. They ain't never told you you couldn't. They just told you we better not catch you with this much, or it's going to be a problem. See, we can't lie on what you call your adversary.
Right.
Just because they done made you mad.
The devil made me do it, don't work.
No. So y'all, how we looking out there too, by? We got any more questions? Y'all, what we're doing today is just dealing with problems, determine the problem, and then add the solution. Okay, sis. Y'all, so what we want to do, we're going to hit on a couple topics like that. We ask the audience if y'all got anything out there that y'all been troubling on your mind. It appears to be a problem. What is the solution for? How do we determine that it's a sin or it's a problem in the Bible? Everything somebody may mention is not a sin. Drinking is not a sin.
No.
Drunkenness is the sin. Let's get it straight. What you got, sis?
Can we read that verse 13 and 14?
Romans, let's say Romans. Yeah, we can go on down, sis. You can read it out if you want to. Go ahead, y'all. Let's finish this Romans 13 up.
Verse 13?
Yes, sir. Where we at? No, we was on verse, read it on down to 13. Read it all the way out.
Where was I at?
You was on 4, verse 4.
Oh, the fan blew my page.
Yeah.
Verse 5, verse 4. Wherefore he is minister of Yahweh to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid. For he beareth not the sword in vain.
He beareth not the sword in what?
In vain.
Uh-huh.
For he is the minister of Yahweh, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil.
So go ahead, bro.
Wherefore ye must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake. For this cause pay ye tribute also.
Pay you what?
Tribute also.
So pay ye tribute also. So wherever you encounter tribute is, if it's taxes, you gotta pay it.
Yep.
Ain't no way around it. Look, we had taxes in Israel we had to pay when we was running our own land. Let's read what else it say.
For they are God's ministers, attending continually upon this very thing.
So for y'all who don't understand that if you're getting welfare and different things and you healthy and couldn't be working, you're not understanding that that's a system set up for the fatherless and the widows. Children that don't have a father, a woman with 10, 11 children, taxes are paid so that they can eat. So you have to look at it if it's a necessary evil. Because a lot of households will be stunned if they weren't able to feed the children. The daddy gone somewhere. He done run off. What they supposed to do? Huh? Who paying for that?
It'd be a necessary evil if it was done right.
Right.
It's not set up for you to live off of. It's not set up for you to say, when I get this certain age, I'll have a baby and then I'll get right into the system.
Right.
That's not what it's set up for. It's set up for, like he said, the fatherless and the widows who can't take care of themselves, not to support your grown ass for a living out of my check.
Yes, sir.
I think that struck a nerve.
What you got, Larry? What you got, Larry? Go ahead. Larry, you good? You had something? You good? Okay. Okay, go ahead, bro. Finish reading, bro.
Where was that? Oh, okay. Uh-oh.
Well, you gotta keep your finger on that.
5.
Yeah.
Wherefore, I got my finger, but I don't know what, we
Right.
stopped in the middle. I got it. Wherefore, verse 5, wherefore ye must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake.
For what sake?
For conscience
See,
sake.
y'all, this have to be on your mind, always on your guard. Always at the ready. Now, you know they ride herd on you. Why you gonna go through Creve Coeur and got that kush? For what? You can't look at California, that's not Creve Coeur, it's two different locations. They don't care about it out there. You ride through their windows fogged up. It looked like you, the bug truck that backed up to you and sprayed inside your car. And you go out there and you cause money. Man, they ride down and these popos ain't no good. Where you at? I'm out here, way out here in Whiteville, man.
You out of bounds.
Yeah, what else to say?
Verse 6, for this cause pay ye tribute also, for they are Yahweh's ministers, attending continually upon this very thing.
So y'all have to understand these systems that are set up to feed people. Now, yeah, it's a lot of, we can argue about more white people on welfare than black people, but the bottom line is somebody's eating off of taxpayers' money and Israel is doing some eating. If taxpayers' money wasn't there, Israel is starving. You know what that means? That means hunger setting in. It's finna be some home invasions.
You ain't got no money, get a gun and go get some money.
That's what it's about to be, y'all. But when you can go and say, hey, I need a little bit of change, this is because when you're paying tribute, like bruh said, we know where some of this tribute money is going when we getting up. We know some is laying on their rear end, spending that money, but that's what it is. They have to deal with that for conscience sake. They have to deal with that if they know they rooking the system. But they got a way of sending you a letter and let you know, you thought you had us, didn't you? We need to see you in our court building. What else you got? Read some more. Let's
Verse
finish
7.
that off.
Render therefore to all their dues. Contribute to whom tribute is due.
Right?
Custom to whom custom. Fear whom fear. Honor whom honor. Owe no man anything but to love one another. For he that loveth another has fulfilled the law.
Right?
For this, thou shalt not commit adultery.
See, and this is what we're talking about. If you love your brother, see, Sunday morning doctrine to teach, that's all you have to do is love your brother, but they don't understand what that means.
Right, what love means.
What love means is you won't do no ill will to your brother, and then lay it down the line so you see what it is. If I don't do that to him, then I love him. But it's law.
Right.
Let's read some more. What does it say?
For this, thou shalt not commit adultery.
Right?
Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Thou shalt not covet. And if there be any other commandment, it is briefly comprehended in this saying, namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Thou shalt do what?
Love thy neighbor as thyself.
That's simple. However you want to be treated, you got to make sure you treat somebody the same exact way.
That's right.
And it's these commandments
And
in
that
the New
ain't
Testament.
all, and those are commandments we
In
just
the New
read.
Testament,
Yeah.
it don't say.
Read a little bit more, brother. Finish that on out.
Love worketh no ill to his neighbor.
Right?
Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law.
See, and a lot of times Sunday doctrine will use that, say love is the fulfilling of the law, but they don't know what love is.
I mean, read that paragraph above.
You know, but love is, the Most High say, if you love me, keep my commandments.
That's right.
He that loveth me, keep my commandments. He that say he loveth me and keep not my commandments is a what?
Liar.
That's what the scriptures say.
And the truth ain't in them.
And the truth is not in you. So we understand what love is. It's not the love that they try to make it. They put fancy titles on, oh, it's agape love. You can call it whatever you want, but the scripture called love commandment keeping.
Yeah. You sound just like them.
Go ahead, bro.
Verse 11.
What it say?
And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness.
Right?
And let us put on the armor of light.
So look, everybody in here know when they grab something and they say, well, I'm gonna grab this, I'm gonna make a little change off of it. You know at that point, it could be a problem. Your conscience tell you, I can't have a kick in at my house at 2 in the morning. Because it's going to be problems. We already know they're going in. It ain't the popos messing with me. It's the informants out on the street just been told. They're the green man here right there. And then they pay them off. Thank you. You gonna blame the informant?
Right.
What you gonna say to him? For what? About what is this for? Because he did what? Told that you were illegal?
Right.
Let's read a little more. Finish that out, bro.
Verse 13.
Uh-huh.
Let us walk honestly.
Let us walk how?
Honestly.
See, honestly mean that I can defend myself and no man can judge me. That's honestly when you walk honestly. I know if you see me over here or I'm doing this over, there's an explanation for that or it ain't. Even if you in the wrong, at least be honest about it. Yeah. I have to admit, man, this the day I play with the devil, dog. You got me. But it's still honest.
Right.
Well, dog, you need to quit playing, man. Told you stay away from the devil's playground. At least you're honest and acknowledge sin. You must be honest within yourself first. Because if you don't, you're going to keep pointing the finger at somebody else and saying, it's their fault that they gave me that deal on that quarter. It's their fault. See, I never thought about selling anything. But they made me a deal.
You just couldn't pass up the
Right.
2 for ones, huh?
Go ahead, bro. Finish that off.
Let us walk honestly, as in the day, not in rioting.
Not
and
in
drunkenness,
what?
Not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envying, but put ye on the Elohim Yahushua HaMashiach, and make not provisions for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof.
See, when you make provisions for the flesh, you know, you can't go to work on time because you're trying to get the flesh right.
Yep.
You know, you looking at the what? That's what I heard folks do. You know, or you fixing you one in the morning and you trying to then got to go get Listerine. Yeah, I'm ready to go. So you're making provisions for the flesh. If you have to go through all of that for daily routine, y'all, it's sacrifice. It's not obedience, y'all. It's one thing you understand, you know. It's like, you know, a lot of these jobs say, we gonna have you pee in a cup. And what we find in there may be trouble for you. If you driving a truck or a bus, you have to realize I may have to get this up, or if I have an accident, or if something falls on my foot, I can't go to the hospital.
Right.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Right.
Yeah, but 2 toes are cut off. They all right, them toes fall off. And I mean, anyway, I didn't even want them toes. Because you can't go to the hospital. You already know. You know when you driving because the rules are already there, but it's the devil. Boy, you show all this traffic. You got all these deliveries to make. Wouldn't it be nice to put one up in the air in this company truck? Wouldn't it be nice?
And that's when you
Don't do it.
Hebrews 11.
So, y'all, this is all we were saying in a nutshell about a seed-bearing earth. You know, it's not to be looked at like because it's there, I get a free run to do whatever I want to do because God said it was okay. No, he also said obey the laws of the land. Get yourself in check.
Don't tip me with faith.
Now, if they take away food and water, we got a whole nother situation then. Because according to the Bible that they say they agree with, they understand that man has to survive by that. That's why when they lock you up, what only they give you? In hardcore time back in the day, they used to give you nothing but bread and water. Because they knew it sustained life, and that's all they owed you.
Yep.
Bread and water.
But because of the ACLU, you get food now. Because if they were feeding them bread and water, today we'd have a lot safer streets.
Yeah.
We'd have a lot safer streets if you know that's all you was gonna get and there was no other TV.
Sure wouldn't be no boy. What they call it when you keep going back?
Recidivism.
What?
Yeah, recidivism.
Recidivism.
No, they got another thing.
Repeat offender.
Huh? Institutionalized. That's what I'm talking about. See, some people go back, because they were setting up all of these prisons on the side of the road for what they call them, nonviolent offenders. Man, they talking about how they had, in Thanksgiving, man, all the cranberry sauce you can eat, but you in jail.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if some people got cell phone, they got cable in there, but do you want to subject yourself to that because you're still under rules? And guess what happens? If you try to sneak something in there, guess what happens with that? It's only going to get the evil who's doing it. Other people going to do their time and be up, but if they start catching what's called contraband, they're going to exact the laws. They're going to put them down and they say, you evil, and wait a minute, we got you in here for selling that, and you selling it in here?
Yeah.
That's a problem, ain't it? That means you can't get your head right. Ain't nothing they can do to get your head right. Now, they do some things that they exceed the affliction, where they give us a 3-strike rule. Man just got out of jail for 30 years for stealing $50. It was his 3rd strike.
It must be the man that's still in jail then, that his 3rd strike, he stole a little piece of pizza from the little boy in the
they gave him that.
It was his 3rd
strike.
Send him away for life.
They said, we'll get you off the street, we're gonna fix you where you eat but you're gonna work for it, and we're gonna pay you 7 cents a week. But y'all, that's what we want to get on. Say any questions out there too, Bob, before we get to the topic at hand. Anybody out here says we got a lot more people coming in. What we're doing today's class, problem, determination, and solutions. I've heard that this is a problem in the Bible. It's plaguing me first we have to determine what it is according to the Bible, because everything somebody says a sin may not be a sin.
Right.
It may be a fault. Faults are not sins. Sins are transgression of the law that requires a blood sacrifice. For you to call it sin, there must be a blood sacrifice for it. Something has to die. You keep on breaking these laws, you will find yourself as the sacrifice and have to be put to death because of a law breaker.
Let's finish this up. I'm gonna get to your Zehoshaphat movie.
What you got? Yeah, we.
Looking for my glasses and got them on.
Where you want to hit on?
So we finished this, the Romans?
Yeah, we
I
finished that.
Okay.
So y'all, we done with that. And y'all, what we're talking about, anybody in here got any questions on their mind? Look, man, I hear people say this a lot of times. Y'all, because we need to do every now and then, instant in season and out of season, because people have things on their mind. They have to wait a whole week before class starts again. So if y'all ain't got nothing, we're going to roll with the problem we had in Israel, how it was determined and looked at, and how it was resolved. Because the Bible resolved every problem.
Yes, it is.
See, they're just naming certain problems in the Bible. They're giving it a medical deficiency or illness, like what they call anxiety. Fear of the Lord is all it is. Or I should say, no fear of the Lord, I should say it is. When you have anxiety, because you're on edge, you don't know what to say, and then, especially if you reach for something else to calm that anxiety down, then that's your God. I need this. I got to have a stiff drink. It calms my nerves down. Other than that, so baby, what you're saying is, when I'm clear-headed, I'm like this. But when I'm full, whatever the substance may mean, I'm like this. But that's normal because it dulls the awareness. It takes the problem away. But it may be causing after effects, side effects. Law breaking causes side effects. And they trickle down. Just like things are hereditary, things are hereditary when you break law. It falls on your children and their children. That's why we're here, because of hereditary disobeying God in our homeland. What you got? What you got, sis? Go ahead, sis. Yeah.
We did all that.
I was listening to you guys when you were talking about men.
Okay, that's what,
By the way, very
that's what it's
good
written.
job when you were talking about men. But that's also for the anxiety too.
Right, absolutely. It's an herb that calms those things down, but you can't just start to use it as, give me my medicine, give me my medicine. It cannot be for that. You cannot make it, because you're going to hype up anxiety. You may starting arguments with people so you can get your medicine. You know now if you call him, you was going to get into an argument about it. What you call for? Now I'm all up in go get my can. And bring all the equipment with it too. That made me so mad. Well, you the one made the call.
Can.
Yeah, you know what's in that can. Where we at? Who got something? You got something, Theo?
I was going to say that it's by keeping the commandments to yourself as protection, because it keeps you away from these situations that cause you to have anxiety.
Absolutely. You know what he say? He said if you keep the commandments, it keeps you away from what causes anxiety.
Somebody want us to do a lesson.
What, a whole lesson on that?
It's a whole lesson on that.
A whole lesson on that, boy. They mad
not
about
on that.
something.
Not on that.
Yeah.
Just on that issue that.
No. It's a whole other issue.
Right.
On silly women taking care of men not working.
Right.
Silly women taking care of men not working.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can do the lesson on it. The problem is, are you going to adhere to it when you hear it, or you going to fall right back into the same thing? Or you going to fall back into this at 2 o'clock in the morning. Who is it?
It's me,
Earl.
baby. Open the door.
Open the door. What you mean what I'm doing at 2 o'clock in the morning?
You ain't sleeping.
Right. So now the door is open. And he's gone before the sun come up and ain't answering his pages. So now you mad again. Why? Because I yielded. Again, y'all, this is a thing of where you understand what this situation is. You cannot be on a hobo rebuild reclamation project. I'm gonna get him on his feet. See, he has to be on his feet. He has to be standing up as a man. That don't mean he has to have the perfect job and make $100,000 a year, but he at least have to be standing up. And that means he's got on shoes that he paid for, whatever, clothes, drawers, or whatever he got on. If you supply all the necessary needs of a man to get him on his feet, when he get on his feet, he running. He gone when he get on his feet. He back to where he was. I'm back on top. I don't need you no more.
Until he fall down again.
Because that's what you did. You took him out of his element. What he's responsible for. Genesis 3:17. Work by the sweat of your brow, men, till you return to the grave. Sirach, give me Sirach 22, 1 through 8 really quick. I just want to get this because what this does is it deals with the curses of Genesis 3:16 and Genesis 3:17. The problem is, the argument asking about to do this class is the same thing. Men telling women, you ought to obey me according to Genesis 3:16.
1 through 8.
The woman saying Genesis 3:17, you supposed to be getting out there getting some money in here so we can feed these children.
I didn't read that.
So y'all, it's the same argument. Both parties don't want to do their responsibilities because they're pointing at him for his responsibility. He's pointing at her for hers. But neither one know what their own responsibility is. The man don't know what his is because he's pointing at the woman. She don't know what hers is because she's pointing at the man, telling him what he ought to be doing as a man. If you was a man, how you know what a man is? You ain't no man. If you was a woman, a real woman, so what's a fake woman? So what you got, Theo?
There's a whole bunch of fake women out there. You can't see it?
The reason why you got this is because of, you heard of Willie Lynch syndrome?
The who?
Willie Lynch.
Yeah.
Third race of feminism happened in this country. It switched the roles. Women, single parent women raised daughters to be masculine and raised sons to be feminine. And because when they get older, they don't know how to be a man because they had a woman raise them.
And then
woman is put in charge. They've been in charge of our community for what, 40, 50 years? And so you have this where women are raising these children in reverse roles, but then, they looking at each other like, why you do what you're supposed to do? They don't know, they've been raised differently. I mentored a young man yesterday, 23 years old, which is my cousin. His mother and his auntie lived with both of them. They baby, they didn't push him to do anything. They just let him sit around the house. He didn't have no type of drive, no type of, you know what I'm saying? Don't go get it. Like people in our generation, we was out there working, we go find a job, 2 jobs, we need to make ends meet. These right, they got nothing. They live off women, because that's how they live. They live off their mom, they live off their girlfriend, they live off whoever, you know what I'm saying?
Woman can't teach your man how to cut grass and work on the car.
Well, y'all have to understand they can't live off what's not being accepted because they don't put a pistol to their head. They're not. What happens is, y'all know the whole play. I'm gonna be able to do something ain't no other woman been able to do.
Change it.
Change it. Your chances are better hitting Powerball in the same week 3 times than changing that behavior. Sirach 22, 1 through 6.
All right. Sirach 22, 1 through 6. Verse 1. A slothful man is compared to a filthy stone.
What happened to that stone that was up here?
Back here.
Give me that stone.
And everyone will hiss him out of his disgrace.
See, it says the slothful man is compared to a filthy stone. Y'all, this used to be toilet tissue back in the day. A smooth stone. See, ain't no jagged edges. Right here. It'll get everything, corn and whatever. It's a smooth stone. It'll handle its business.
It's also reusable.
And look, and men would throw it down. So if you just happen to be coming to throw a rock at a wild dog or something, you pick it up and you be like, who left this toilet tissue out there? That's what the filthy stone was. Smooth stones used to get it done. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 2. I'll read it again. A slothful man is compared to a filthy stone, and everyone will hiss him out of his disgrace.
Now read that again.
And everyone will hiss him out to his disgrace.
Right, so what it's saying, to his disgrace, they're going to talk about it. The word lazy always going to come up. It's always going to come up because you compare it to a filthy stone. Everybody going to walk around this.
Right.
Just like dog droppings in a park.
Right.
You're going to walk around them because it's filth. Watch it, don't go over that way. So that's, and hiss him out to his disgrace. This is what drives these men crazy. You know, and you cannot, for slothful behavior, make an acronym for it or justify slothfulness and give it a title. You can't make the word hobo mean anything but what it means.
Right.
It will never be honor over brotherly oppression. You oppress because you slothful. That's why that slothfulness bring oppression, don't it? Huh? Well, man, have you filled out any applications this week? No. Well, that's your problem. That's what's bringing the issue to you. You can't get honor over that. Like I heard a brother say once, H-O-B-O only mean hobos only BS others. H-O-B-O.
Verse 2.
Because you bull-essing somebody with that foolishness. You have to get up and do according to the commandment. You have to if you're able-bodied. We're talking about able-bodied. This is what happened, just like we just read about Jacob. Where was Jacob coming from when Leah and Rachel had the mandrake? Where was he coming from? From the field. Always working. Worked for 20 years straight for Laban. And when he was done, I'm retired, I'm finna go from you, partner. Give me what's mine.
Right.
Let's read some more.
Verse 2.
What it say?
A slothful man is compared to the filth of a dunghill. Every man that takes it up will shake his hand.
So it's like compared to a dunghill, y'all. So we have to understand these things like an outhouse. That's why it upsets brothers so bad. You know, when a woman say that, well, quit, you know, putting yourself in that position.
Right.
You're better to live alone. You're better in a one room with, you have to use the bathroom down the hall with 20 other residents than to find yourself in this position that you're going to be constantly accused of when things don't go the other person's way who paying the bills. Yeah. That's what's going to happen. It's going to cause problems. You backpedaling and you're looking for words to justify her saying, you know, you still sleep? I've been gone for 8 hours.
Right.
Oh, man.
Did you bring something home to eat?
You know we out of cereal.
You know we out of cereal. The babies too? Theirs too. And dried milk right here and shirt. Captain Crunch stains right there. Milk.
His shirt say Nintendo.
Let's read some more.
Verse 3.
What it say?
An evil
Nurture.
Nurtured.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm saying neutered. An evil nurtured son is a dishonor of his father that begot him. And a foolish daughter is born to his loss.
Right.
A wise daughter shall bring an inheritance to her husband, but she that liveth dishonestly is her father's heaviness.
So now we're on the women's side right here. And it says, notice it says to her husband. So we back in Genesis 3:16. We were just in Genesis 3:17 for the man. Must work from the sweat of your brow till you return to the grave. Now we're on the women who want, is not only a part for her husband, but her father. because her father don't want to hear his daughter is behaving like this.
Right.
Not my daughter. How you talking about, man, it's this girl, man, she come down, dog, I'm talking about, man, we'll do that. There she go right there. Man, that's my daughter. Wow. Maybe I'm mistaken. I don't think that's really her. No, that ain't her, dog. Yes, it is. No father wants that. Read some more.
Verse 5.
What it say?
She that is bold dishonoreth both her father and her husband, but they both shall despise her.
And when we're talking about bold, the script talk about the mother and the seventh son. It says she had a manly stomach, but a woman disposition. Meaning she was like Harriet Tubman.
She was a worker.
Kept herself as a woman, but didn't play the funny. Why? Because they're supposed to rule the household while the husband is in the field. They have to keep things in check. All the children have to be in check. She has to have a manly stomach. Don't go for the okie doke. Don't play the funnies. The mother of the house. But if she's bold like this and she start telling him, all your stuff in that box right there to the left. I can have another you in a minute. The problem is you're going to get another one in a minute. You're going to have the same problem in 2 months. You're going to be telling him to put his stuff in the box and go. You're saying another you in a minute, like you're a dime a dozen. So this is what it's talking about. Dishonor is because when Miriam got put out for 7 days for speaking out against Moses and Aaron, it said we have to put her out because she broke the laws like this. It say even if her father would but spit in her face, we have to put her out for 7 days. And her father would spit in her daughter's face if she came home pregnant and living in his house.
Right. Out of wedlock.
It's total disrespect to the household because daughters provide wealth for the household. Wait a minute, you can't do nothing now. And where is he at? See, back in the day, you can go down south with your girlfriend and y'all go in the same room. Well, Big Mama look like we gonna go and retire. Yes, you are, right here. This where you'll be sleeping. Baby, go on in there. That's your room. It's still over there, but you sleep here. Right here. Y'all ain't got no paperwork, do you? No, we ain't got nothing. Well, you'll sleep here. Don't get up in the middle of the night.
Big Mama said that kid out there. Trip over.
So y'all, we understand these things that we've lost, and what we're talking about is shameful behavior that has become normal to us right now, and we'll do anything and call it justifiable. And let's get off this thing. I'm saying this. I'll move on. Get off this thing of women. You telling these young women, especially the women that's in that tightest of the silly woman mindset, you need to be like Sarah. Sarah, when she comes into the picture for us, we hear about her when Abraham first married at a young age. Next thing we know, she 80 years old, right. 89 years old.
Right. Where's her record?
How you gonna tell a young woman to be like Sarah and she's 89 years old? You at least need to put some young woman, her 20s up to there. There's scriptures out there about Sarah at that age. But a young 20-year-old woman don't know what it's like to be 80 years old and to be with a husband past menopause. You can't just say be like that. Sarah, it may have been 50 years before she started calling Abraham Lord. They got to at least get through that part of it. But yeah, be like her, be like her, be like this person, be like Abigail, be like Abigail. You Negroes saying that if you found out your woman gave somebody else your food like she gave Nabal's food to David and his servants, even though they was watching the sheep, she gave her husband's food to them because they was gonna kill her. I understand that part. But will they accept it that way?
Right.
When you're talking about Abigail, would you accept it that way? And she said because he was drunk, and when he woke up, then she told him. At least she told him, look, David and them come through here. They was gonna kill you, but I gave them some raisins and cakes and different things to save your life. Would most men accept that?
Right.
Nah, there's something else funny going on here. See, I know something funny. When that nigga gave you 3 extra taco sauces when we went through Taco Bell, I knew y'all had something going. And now it's this same nigga. See,
She only works taco sauce?
it don't matter what it is. They ain't gonna be able to handle it because I'm living off of you.
Right.
Now you telling me there's somebody else in the picture.
Get
And it's
some
King
mind.
David?
And he got a job in bringing taco
The
sauce.
warrior King David. That don't get drunk like you.
Right.
You better be careful you tell them to be like somebody else unless you're ready to handle the whole
Somebody else.
360
Right.
of Abigail.
Right.
The whole 360 of Sarah. When you get into the book of Jasher, when Abraham was missing Ishmael, he said, I ain't seen my son for a long time. Him and Sarah was squabbling. She like, you sure you going to see Ishmael or you going to see his mama? He had to tell a woman, I ain't going to even get off my camel. Like, nigga, I'm going over there to see my baby. I ain't even getting out the car. Them Cadillac doors ain't going to even open up. I'm going to be sitting in my car.
Baby mama drama.
This is baby mama drama. There's a lot of information in between telling a young woman to be like Sarah.
We already read about
She's
being ready.
89 years old at this point when you're seeing this. You know how much a relationship that is? They done got past both of them. They don't have intercourse anymore. They have love course. Sip coffee together and talk about the good time. Yeah, a few kisses give them the same exact feeling because they know it's gone.
No clothes burning.
It's gone. There's no more heat. What you got back there, Elijah? Hold on.
Stop telling me wrong.
That's the reason why Paul wrote a lot extensively about relationships.
Yeah.
About how a man shouldn't put away his wife as long as she's pleased to be with him.
Right.
She might be run over by conversation.
Yes, sir.
Through his acts. And so, so it shows that there was always these situations that arrived in marriages, in relationships.
Right.
And he said also that one who's not married has the prayers of the Most High, and one who has a wife has the prayers of his wife, and like God. And that was the reason, because there are other things that a man or a woman deals with outside of the relationship between them and the Elohim.
That's right.
You know, to get past and to become, you know, a solid unit and an undefiled baby.
Right.
So these things were rolled into the scriptures to let you understand that every relationship, you know, regardless how long it wasn't always a perfect relationship.
That's right. Ain't always perfect. You throw it like that, like things from Sarah, from a young girl, time Abraham get her up to 89 was the perfect model, and there was no drama at all. None that where they had to grow into this relationship.
That's retirement.
But guess what? As rich as he was, and much knowledge as he had about these scriptures, not once is it recorded he said, you keep on fat mouth and I'm gonna go get me another woman.
Right. Right.
Could have did it easily.
Because the marriage is just like the marriage of Christ and the church.
That's right.
It's long suffering. It's patient.
Yeah.
What you got?
What you got? Hold on, Phil. Go ahead. And then we're gonna get.
You can't just touch on it. I was saying, women don't come to you as Proverbs 31. You have to lead her to Proverbs 31.
Right.
Proverbs 31 woman had a husband, children.
Yeah.
Just like he said, the church, with the assembly, when he comes to the side, he lowered us a little way. He don't just cast, he still ain't cast away. He done all the stuff.
Right.
So you got to lead her. Because, man, in those times, you got to remember, Abraham was a grown man. And she was 14, 16 when he married.
Yeah.
So she was a lot mature. You have to be patient with her and lead her to being a woman. So yeah, there was a lot of bumps and stuff. Because if you marry a young woman, she don't know.
And look, and not to cut y'all, if you married a young woman then, you had to wait till the time of love is right. Like Ezekiel 16, the Father, the Messiah with us, with the Church of Israel, he said, and when the time of love was right, then I spread my skirt. It didn't affect these men because they was young, because they knew they had to wait till she come of age. Jacob waited 7 years. All they did was sport. Go on little, what do you call them, when you take a basket out to the park, little picnics and things like that, say they sported. But there was nothing extracurricular for 7 whole years. Men can't wait 7 minutes now. If they buy you a drink, you on the hook. He wants some action in the parking lot.
Right.
Or he may wander into the woman's bathroom to catch you in the stall. But he ain't waiting. He's in the microwave generation. 7 years, y'all, that a man worked and waited for his bride. So, y'all, it's a total different mindset when you tell them to be like a woman. These women were like that because of the man. Because of his character. Because of what he was doing made them yield to that. But you can't be just laying up, picking your toenails like coal. You know, and she gone every day. What you got, like?
A lot of that came through experience.
Yeah.
Life experience.
That's right.
That's where that knowledge and wisdom came through on how to treat a woman through experience. Abraham, Jacob and Isaac learned from their father.
That's right.
A righteous relationship.
So y'all, it ain't hard, but finish that up. What we got? You got something more, boy?
I was about to say too, when you started off by saying about love is not one that would say, well, she's not doing what you're saying, you're doing.
Right.
Or anything of that.
What man hated his own flesh?
Hating his own, are you going to beat your flesh?
Right. Gets out of line. I hear Negroes putting women on punishments now. Is that a grown woman? That ain't new, what? Go to your room and don't come out till I tell you can't have no phone calls.
Right, yeah.
What?
I've heard that.
That's what the punishment would be.
And other sisters can't talk to.
Right, no sisters can't talk to each other.
And it's the in the 2019, and they do it.
But y'all, this is just y'all what we saying how far is out of course, because the deal is each party is not doing their side of their responsibility. You have your rules, woman, and he have his rules. That's why he said there's neither male nor female, free nor bond. You know, Jew or Gentile. When it comes down to judgment day, I'm judging you according to the rules for a woman, and I'm judging you according to the rules for a man. That's why Eve got a judgment, Adam got a judgment, and Satan got a judgment for the same crime, but they got judged individually. Adam and Eve didn't get judged together for the same crime. They got different crimes. They said, to you, woman, this your punishment. Since you like to imagine your good desire, then you're going to have pain during childbirth, and we're going to bring on some bleeding for you every month. So it'll be in your mind about this every month. That's your punishment. So every time you think about this gonna happen to you. Hit me a little bit of that 2 Timothy chapter 12, chapter 2, verse 12 through 15. 2 Timothy chapter 2.
Timothy or Corinthians?
Timothy, man. I was saying Kurt Timothy. It ain't Kurt Timothy. You know what I want. 2 Tim, chapter 2, verse 12 through 15. And y'all, and you see this curse is still going on from the Garden of Eden. It's still riding the women. Until that curse is lifted, women will have children with no pain. I'm talking about pluca. Oh, it's a boy. Yep. That's it. Just a pluca. No epidural, none of that.
Like the Messiah came out.
Just pluca. Yeah. It's
like
a boy. What'd that say, brother?
2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 12.
What'd it say?
If we suffer, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he also will deny us.
Right.
If we believe not, yet he abideth faithful. Abideth faithful. He cannot deny himself. Of these things, put them in remembrance, charging them before the Lord that they strive not about word to no profit, but to the subverting of the hearers.
That ain't what I want. I want 1 Timothy then chapter 2.
I thought that's what it was, because I'm sitting here holding it on my hand.
I was just checking with y'all, seeing what y'all on the point. Yeah.
Because I went to the wrong Timothy and said, oh yeah, this is what he want. But
back it up.
I'm
you
in
know
the
what
wrong
I want.
one.
Well, say it, bro.
I thought maybe I was tripping.
Read it, man.
Start at verse 8. We're going to start 1 Timothy chapter 2.
You're so right.
I was just in 2 Tim. It should have been 1 Tim.
1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 8.
What it say?
I will therefore that men pray everywhere, lifting up holy hands without wrath and doubting.
So are we to lift up holy hands like this? With the spark move, I can't even do it without holding my. Where this come from? Where this in scripture at? What chapter and verse is this? I saw this on Mark and Mindy and Star Trek. Where does this come from? Huh?
No.
These are Masonic signs from Freemasonry.
Jay-Z.
That's where this come from. This ain't got nothing to do with the Levitical priest. It ain't no instruction. The Most High give instruction. Thou shalt hold thy hands high, and thou shalt split the middle finger and the other finger like a V. Thou shalt have the Vulcan look amongst thy brother. Where you reading that at? It ain't in there.
If you all ride down north and south between Page and Delmar on north and south, you're headed towards Delmar, there's an Edomite cemetery right there. And what I'm saying is because you can't miss it. There's some big marble tombstones, solid black, and they have these on there that you could see it from the street. Those symbols on that, those Masonic symbols on the tombstones. The tombstones are about as tall as I'm talking about from the floor.
Yeah.
They're real tall, and they have them on somebody's grave.
It's only in the Kabbalah and the Talmud. Can't be found in Holy Scriptures. Cannot be found. That's charlatan work.
Y'all would be surprised. The only reason I know I don't mean to interrupt you, because I work in cemeteries. My job takes me into cemeteries. So the only reason I'm saying this is like there's a cemetery on St. Charles Rock Road in Hamlin where a lot of black people get buried at in there. I was riding through there one day and there's a whole Chinese section from way back in the day, and they have a lot of Hebrew stuff on their stuff, or they got other stuff that they take to their graves that you just look at their tombstones and see what these people represented.
Right.
And they'll have all that stuff on their tombstones.
Like Charles Taze Russell, the founder of the Jehovah's Witness.
His tombstone.
Google his tombstone, Charles Taze Russell. Google his tombstone and see what you see. Plus he was a 33rd degree Freemason, a 33rd degree.
What's the name again?
Charles Taze, T-A-Z-E Russell, the founder of Freemason. False prophted 5 times.
Founder of Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah. And look at his tombstone. Just Google it. Charles Taze Russell tombstone. But y'all, let's keep it moving because I want to get to the problem of determination. But we're doing that now. We see a problem that happened in the garden, and that was your desire should be to your husband, but her desire was to that angel that was sparkling. You know, and she looked at him like he was the man. You know, I got to have him. So the Most High asked her to. He said, what did I tell you? You said don't touch it. Don't ask it no questions. He said, she answered the question. It wasn't like he told her what she did. He asked her and she informed him, but she told him, he tricked me, he seduced me. Slick Willie got me. He said, okay, but that don't let you off the hook. You got to do your time for this. And since this was a supernatural event, it has to last for thousands of years because it happened in the supernatural. So its punishment ain't like us in the flesh. That's why Adam lived 930 years, even after his crime. But we sinning so bad now, we can't even get to 20 years old. So y'all, we have to understand, but finish that Tim up, y'all, so I can get right to this lesson, right?
Verse 9.
What it say?
In like manner also,
right,
that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefaced and sobriety, not with braided hair, broided hair. Man, misprinted.
Yeah, that's right. Same thing. Go ahead.
Okay. Or gold, or pearls, or costly array.
See, go ahead, read the next one.
But which becometh woman professing godliness with good works.
So it's not trying to dictate to you what a woman should wear. It says she should have modest apparel. so that it don't excite another man. And it ain't so much as the man, it's these angels, y'all. These supernatural beings that's looking for the silly woman. If they get at you, you at a whole nother level. A whole nother level with this. So, and not broad in her. It didn't say you couldn't wear braids in your hair, but say when you start to put gold in it and you start to do it, that's attraction. The power is there. It does something to the angels. It drives them crazy about a woman's hair. That's what you have to understand in 1 Corinthians 11. That's why I say a woman need a covering, because of the angels. Jude talked about it too, because of the angels and the women and their hair.
Reuben talked about it when he talked to his sons about it in the testament of the 12 tribes.
Yeah.
And he said that there's a special place in hell for women who do that on purpose.
Right.
For you to put on something and walk outside, walk down the street to make men look at you. He says a special place in hell for you for that. That particular sin itself, he say, if you do that, that's a special place he got for you for that.
And
that's
look,
what Reuben said.
and the deal is the man don't get off the hook. Because if she walk naked in front of him, he should be just like he don't even see it.
Yeah.
If flesh do you like that, that's a problem anyway.
Yep.
It don't matter that clothes is on it.
It ain't her naked, it's your lust.
It's your lust. That's what it is. But it's saying because women don't have the power, what he's reading about in Reuben, that they don't have the power or the
To make
strength
you
that
do that.
man. So they'll use the wiles to drive you out of your mind and make you jealous and different things like this drive you crazy. You know, you work an hour from home. It takes you an hour to drive to work. You get 30 minutes for lunch, but you worried about the mailman. So you drive all the way home on your lunch break. You already 30 minutes late going home.
That's gonna last.
Now you're going to sit and wait for 45 minutes. So now you, what's that, 45 minutes plus 30 minutes is what, hour and 15 minutes. And now it's another hour to get back to work. Your lunch break every day is 2 hours and 30 minutes.
That
You
ain't
ain't
gonna
got
be
no
that.
job, man.
It ain't gonna
Sooner or
be that.
later, the supervisor's going to say, I've been watching you.
After one day.
Yeah, you've been coming back, slipping in through the back door every day. Where you been? And eventually you're going to realize, I can't do this. My trust level have to be like this. This is what the virtuous woman is talking about. It said her husband, he has no fear. It's no trust issue with him when she goes out of the house. I don't have to have her on lockdown. People, when they see her, they know me.
They know who she belongs to.
That's who the deal is. It ain't like, and when you read, she handling business. She got her own business. She doing this, she doing that. But he has no fear or trouble. He's not worried about this where she sleep.
So that the good man goes?
No, that ain't Proverbs 7. She's coming home. She know where she live. She's coming home to deal with this situation. I mean, she knows what time. She can't keep coming in on the other side of midnight. Her coming in at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, y'all know what's open at them hours? Legs in the hospital. And she ain't got no band on her own. She ain't been to the hospital. But let's get back to it, y'all. Where we at? Finish that up for me, y'all, so we can roll on.
Verse 11.
What it say?
Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection.
When we're talking about silence, it means don't usurp authority over the man. Don't mean she just shut up till I tell you to speak. That's a pimp. Shut your mouth, anime. Then next you be talking about I'm off that narcotic. So, but eat the cake. Yeah, go ahead. What else to say?
Verse 12.
Right?
But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence.
So this can't mean that when you got Acts 18 chapter with Priscilla and Aquila, a tag team husband and wife that was going out. And it said they both showed Apollos a more excellent reading. You know, he like, baby, you know the script. I want, baby, what is that? You want some of that Isaiah? That's what you want to hit him with. Yeah. Turn read that Isaiah for him. Yeah, see, Apollos, that's what we're talking about right here. That was a team because they won flesh.
Right.
But if you teach her not to say anything, it may be a problem. Your life may be in danger. You don't get in man's business. When men argue, see, men is arguing. Now, if she see a man finna sneak up and cut your throat, she ain't gonna say nothing.
I was just trying to tell you, his brother was about to bust your head.
What about if Zipporah had done this when the Most High sent that angel to kill Moses before he got to Pharaoh?
Would have been no Moses.
It wouldn't have been no Moses. It'd have been somebody else to get the law, but it wouldn't have been Moses. But his wife took a sharp stone from another nation and circumcised their son.
That's a different stone than that one.
Yeah. Oh, that was a sharp stone. I hope you ain't wiping with a stone like that can circumcise.
I figured he was gonna say something crazy.
Boy,
You figured right.
boy, come on, you be a man buying that purple box at the store. Let's get some more. Where we at? Finish that up.
You know what they is. Verse 13.
What it say?
For Adam was first formed, then Eve.
Right.
And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression.
So he never tricked Adam. This is all it's saying. Adam was in fault too because he told Adam, teach your wife what to do.
Right.
Teach your wife. And look, if you teach a woman to shut up all the time, she ain't gonna know what to do. My husband ain't here, I can't do it. Well, we're gonna cut the lights off. Can you get it? He told me don't say nothing, just wait on him. Y'all call back at this time. Well, it's in the dark. He gonna be mad now. You know, look, you have, it's called a help meet. Help you meet the family goals. That's what it's for. You can't just be gun-ho and want to do everything. If you on the TV to pay the cable bill, and that's the only TV, you still ain't watching TV, let her pay the bills. You don't know what you doing.
On the TV to pay the cable bill.
Verse 15.
What it say?
Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing.
What shall she be saved in?
In childbearing.
Uh-huh.
If they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety.
Holiness with sobriety, if they continue. So y'all have to understand, this is going back to the garden of why it said don't usurp authority. All y'all have to see what this means is Sanford and Son. When Aunt Esther handles Woodrow, that's usurping authority. When he was laughing and drinking, she said, Woodrow, put that bottle down before I screw your arm off and beat your brains out with it. Oh, glory. Oh, glory. Woodrow, you came here with tea. You want to leave with some? That's usurping authority. Man, you don't know what the hell you talking about. Man, you want to go to some Isaiah. He always talking and don't know nothing about no scripture. Go to Isaiah, man. And she's bold with it. That's right. Gonna look rough.
Right.
I don't care what she's dressed like. She can have on a wedding dress. Talking like that, you're gonna be bagging up, man. Yep. That's a dragon, ain't it?
Yep.
That's straight the bold talk that it's speaking about. But when you get into 1 Corinthians 14, it says, he that speaketh in the unknown tongue. If there be no interpreter, he must do what in the assembly?
Be quiet.
Do what?
Be quiet.
So where is he at when he got to be quiet?
In the assembly.
In the assembly. So it's rules on both sides. You just got men only pointing out the women troubles and not the men. It's always that for a man. Look, certain times you can't speak like the Messiah said, hold your peace. What you think that means? He was talking to his 12 disciples. Don't say a word. Don't say nothing. Shut up. Just keep your mouth closed. But we like fat mouth. Because we think we in charge like that, to rule like that. But what man hateth his own flesh? If you beat your flesh like that, then there's going to be a problem. But that's all I wanted to show y'all, that we're seeing that this curse is still going on from Genesis all the way up to here. You get into some Isaiah 65 and 20, you'll see then the serpent's curse. Because in Genesis 3:15 it said to the serpent, you know, this your punishment. You should go on your belly. You should eat dust all the days of your life. Serpents or snakes don't eat dust. They taste dust to see where they food at. Am I right?
Right.
See, I had to ask him because he got a whole cage of them. Just had some snakes. Just had some more snakes.
A whole cage of them.
Yeah, a whole
20
of them. So, but that's what. So when you get in Isaiah 65 and 20, because that was an internal curse, then you see his punishment. The wolf shall lay down with the lion, and the ox shall eat. They shall eat straw like the bullock, and then shall the dust be the serpent's meat. This is after the second coming.
That's right.
At the second coming, then shall the dust be the serpent's meat. How many generations that's been already? Look, it's 3,400 years from Abraham to Messiah.
Look, with my
And this
food
curse is
bill,
still going.
with my food bill, I'd be good if my snakes ate dirt. They don't eat dirt. They eat rats.
What she got?
That I have to buy.
Saying the word nose rings.
No, because when you look in Ezekiel, in Exodus, always constantly, men had earrings too. And they gave all their rings and stuff. And then, like certain slaves, if you were going to take them on, you would their ear. You would pierce your own slave. You would pierce their ears. So men wore piercings and women wore piercings. The thing is, if you dress up to attract,
Found it right here.
and women know what we're talking about, if they standing in front of that mirror and they looking behind them like that at that derriere, and they get a high five from that girl, you gonna have them drooling. It look like drinks for you tonight. Maybe something else coming with them drinks.
I didn't hear the question, but I heard the thing about an earring.
This is nose ring is what
But nose ring, all of these you hear jewels, they were there. It was nowhere that told you where you couldn't put an earring.
Listen, when
What it say? What it say, sis?
In that day, the Lord will take away the grace that they're taking about their feet, their calls, and their round tires like moon, chains, the bracelets, the mufflers, the bonds, the ornaments of the legs, and the headbags, and the tablets, and the earrings, and the rings, and the nose jewels, and the chains, and the suits and purse. Talking about what he's basically taking away our
What your elegance, so to speak. And instead of full hair, there should be baldness. You know, now, y'all know it'd be rough if a woman had a Larry Stooges. Y'all be like, oh, that's rough. I'm talking about her gone right here and it's just on the sides and the back. You know, so all of that, because her hair is her glory. So what she's reading is what happens after the fall. He'll take away the elegance. And it says nose rings and nose. So the scripture is there, y'all. What we're trying to do is force somebody to dress to righteousness. And it has to be to the consciousness up here.
right.
If you know that that's going to attract, it's going to cause some problem, maybe violence, then dress a different way. Y'all, but ain't no dressing rules, because guess what? Women with long dresses got more babies as the ones with a short dress on.
Yep.
Let me read this right quick. This
What it
is
say,
second
brother?
witness to it out of the Testament of Reuben. I'm gonna read 16 and 17.
What it say?
For a woman cannot force a man openly.
She can't do what?
Cannot force a man openly.
You better give me some. Can't force him openly. What you say, woman? The Egypt woman, the Pharaoh's wife, tried to force Joseph. It says she started getting sick and started trying to work voodoo on him.
Yep.
But he wouldn't touch her. Say she pulled off all her clothes in front of him. He turned and looked the other way because he was her husband's eunuch. He watched the wife for her Pharaoh, for the husband, because he was a just man. And she liked him because he said wasn't no Egyptian as handsome as he was. And she just felt sick. She had to have him, but he did not yield. So contrary to belief, when you hear a man say she forced me, y'all know he lying. Y'all know he lying.
DMX.
Yeah, go
You know
ahead.
he lied.
Yeah. What else to say, bro?
For the woman cannot force the man openly, but by a harlot's bearing.
By what?
By a harlot's bearing, she beguiles him.
Right.
Flee therefore fornication, my children, and command your wives and your daughters that they adorn not their heads and their faces to deceive the mind.
See, it says to deceive their mind. It didn't say they couldn't do it. It just said if it's done to deceive the mind. I mean, you don't want it to be like, I'm gonna get you sucker, and then she pulling off all her body part, and she had to leap on the couch, so she got one leg, she pull a wig off. You're like, oh, that ain't what I seen in the club.
That's worse than Larry Stooge.
Pull off this, pull these out, pull that off, and pull these off, and then when you get through looking, you're like, oh, shit.
She hopping across the room on one leg.
Is this Joe Frazier? So, there's key words in there. It says to entice. If you ain't doing it to entice, you know what you're doing. You can't be judged for that. That's all it's saying, but you can't dictate. Look, Elijah Muhammad tried that, didn't he? He said all the women over there with dresses down to their ankle. Guess what? He had 20 babies
He was under.
by young virgins and wasn't giving them a quarter and was a millionaire. That's what made Malcolm X go left field on him and told me, he doing what? He ain't gave us no assistance, and I've been having to go to the welfare office, and he's a millionaire. And guess who he blamed when he confronted? You know, when the scripture talk about David, he had to sow his own. What about David's punishment? That's what we're here for. What happened to David behind what you talking? You gonna leave a trail of these women with long dresses on? It don't matter what you have on, because lust can see through that. Let's read some more. Where we at? Y'all, we need to get caught up.
Hold on, let me finish this.
Okay.
Because every woman who uses these wiles has been reserved for eternal punishment. For thus they allured the watchers who were before the flood. For as these continually beheld them, they lusted after them, and they conceived the act in their mind. For they changed themselves into the shape of a man and appeared to them when they were with their husbands.
See, when they attack, when they're with their husbands. See, and this a man that you letting a woman go up. You know them leggings with the holes all the way up to the thigh. You like, she ain't got no drawers on. You know when you go to club, hood banger, what's gonna happen when you walk through the door with her? Me ain't gonna be grabbing her while you got her on. You like, oh dog, she with you? I got her arm locked.
She gonna be with you long.
He pulling on her arm like this. Oh,
be over here with me.
Why you gonna go there and you gonna take her to the wolf house?
Yeah.
Dressed like that, you know what you in for. Now you got pistols on you. I wish a nigga would say something about them spandex with holes in it and ain't showing her drawers. I wish a nigga would.
It ain't got to be the club. It's walking down the street every day. I see it every day. Cats walking with their guy, look at them like, man, really? You like got your girl out here in broad daylight.
Look, she works,
walking
he
down
don't.
the street looking like this.
He works, he don't. I mean, she works, he don't. He got to put up with it. Ain't nowhere else for him to go. When they leave the club, you talking? I bought you drinks tonight.
Right.
Now I can let you off at the Metro Link if you want. No. We can go home. Boy.
What? They walk down the street and you trying to keep your man whole and you confront a vagina in the face. Like they twirl this stuff so straight you can see.
Well, men doing the same thing. Men do the same thing. Men is doing the same thing. They ain't going to the gym for us, for men to be looking at. I'm talking about on a consistent basis. I'm talking about where everything have to show their muscles.
Right.
They already in shape.
Oh, come on, man. Y'all know what it is. It's a sinful and adulterous generation, y'all. And that's all we saying. Be mindful of your attire. You know what it is. And all that script, you finished with that?
Yeah, I can't stop. Boy.
Okay, so and basically that's all it's telling you. It's not pounding out. It's just telling you if everybody do what they supposed to do, you'll have some harmony. You won't have distrust. You know, not saying that you don't think about things, but you cannot leave your home or let them leave and be worried about that. That'll drive you crazy. You talking about anxiety at this point, you're gonna be drinking. And y'all, what you are seeing now is men killing their wives and children.
Yes.
This is at a whole nother level, y'all, but we're gonna pick it up. We're gonna speed it back up. Are we good out there? Too bad. Any questions out there before we get to this problem determination? Y'all, what we're gonna do is a problem. What you guys said?
I was gonna say, we ain't did none of your stuff yet.
We finna do it now. But see, we had said that though. But y'all, what we're talking about is a problem, how to determine what the problem is and what the solution is, and the Bible gives that fix. Ain't no problem you got now ain't never been dealt with in the scripture. It ain't no problem you can name and say, I bet they had never had this problem. Yes, they did. And it's recorded. We're going to deal with a situation called the daughters of Jehoshaphat. And this was a situation where a man had all daughters, and no sons, and there's inheritance laws that you must keep. And they're asking, how is that possible for us? There's a law. And then that's why you have people say, can't nobody keep the law, because they think there's no remedy for that. But the Father ain't gonna just dictate everything for us. He wants us to come to him and talk to him about a situation. You know, I tried to do this, but this situation is staring me in the face. How do I fix that? He's like, I'm glad you came to me. Let's talk. Y'all, we have to have a personal relationship with our spiritual father. You have to be able to talk to him. All of us are children, just like you got children. Some of them you understand a little bit better than others. Some of them you know what helps them move, you know, and some, you know, you ain't got to tell them nothing. They just know how to get it done. But in like manner, we have to talk to the Father that way and get a relationship with him and understand what he's saying, because he's a father, you know, and he don't want his daughter or his sons, like we just read in the script, to be out of control. We're his children. Who want to hear about their children out of control like that? No. You hear them hollering, and it's the principal. You know it is. He hollering in the background. You better know something. I'll put my daddy on that. Well, your daddy's on the phone right now. Oh, is he so? Who want to be going up to the school every weekend? Let's read, y'all. Where we at? Numbers 27:1.
Oh, wow.
You had something, bro?
No, it just, last week it disappeared, all the scripts disappeared, it just did it on me again. Last week it did it twice.
What kind of computer you got over there?
No, I ain't got nothing else. I ain't got nothing on here now.
Need some antivirus. Somebody jiggling
Probably
wires.
do need some of that. We ain't
jiggling wires
put
down here. Yo, so we're gonna get a little understanding of a problem that they took. A righteous problem, though. It was a good question. You know, if men's supposed to have children and all he got is daughters, that's a problem with law. How do I keep that law? And that was a common question because we had inheritance back then, y'all. I'm talking about land mass that would be given to the next son in line. I'm talking about plots of land and houses and cattle and different things. But with no son, who he gonna give it to? That's why Abraham thought Eleazar was his heir when he said, you're going to have a son. He's like, who you talking about, Eleazar? Who was raised in my house like my own child? He's like, no, you're going to have your own son. Let's get it, y'all. Numbers 27:1.
Book of Numbers, chapter 27, verse 1.
What it say?
Then came the daughters of Zelophehad, the son of Hepher, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, of the families of Manasseh.
The families of who?
Manasseh, the son of Joseph. And these are the names of his daughters.
So right here, we're talking about Manasseh and Ephraim, the offspring of Joseph that he had in Egypt when he was married to the Egyptian woman that was pleased to dwell with him outside of the nation of Israel. Is this a lawful union? According to Deuteronomy 7:6. Is it lawful for Joseph to have been with Oneth, the daughter of Pharaoh? Must have been because Jacob blessed both of them. Let's read some more.
And these are the names of his daughters: Malah, Noah, and Haglah, and Milcah, and Tisra.
I'm glad you said that, Haglah, like you said, because ain't no sister gonna be one of the, what's your name, Hoglah? What?
You right.
Verse 2. And they stood before Moses and before Eleazar the priest.
So what are they doing and their father ain't there? Who are they standing in front of?
Moses and Eleazar.
So is a woman to keep silence on certain issues. This is an issue about their father, and they ain't got no brothers. They stepping it up. They stood before the priest and Moses. So there must have been some form of legality that they could speak. Let's read some more.
And before the princes and of all the congregation, by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying, our father died in the wilderness.
When did our father die?
Our father died in the wilderness. And he was not in the company of them that gathered themselves together against the Lord in the company of Korah, but died in his own sin and had no son.
So he didn't say, no, he wasn't part of the 3,000 that died in the wilderness, that dropped with Dathan and Korah and them that was challenging Moses. He died of his own sin. He got old or he was doing something in the wilderness, he died. See, most people think that we just was in the wilderness chilling or we was wandering around, but there was wars in the wilderness. We had to get straight in there. We was pounding each other out. There was murmuring and different things as we moving from city to city to get to the promised land. He died in his own sin in the wilderness, never saw the promised land, but he left no son. Let's read.
Verse 4.
What does it say?
Why should the name of our father be done away from among his family?
So they're questioning the lineage of their father. See, they're not even worried about, you know, if I have if I get another husband, or if I get a husband and I get a child, I name him after him. His last name still may be the father's name versus his grandfather's name, you know, to try to bring it back. So they like, look, we got a problem here. Our daddy dead and we ain't got no brothers. This is the problem. Now we're going to determine what the problems is based off of law. And then there's a solution for the problem. So y'all, we have to take this thing full circle when we understand it, because it's going to apply to everything in life. Let's read.
Because he hath no son, give unto us therefore a possession among the brethren of our father. And Moses brought their cause before the Lord.
See, now Moses took their cause to the Lord. So are they silenced or and they in front of who? And they in front of the congregation? The assembly of Israel? And say, and the congregation? So it ain't like it's secret. They're speaking because of a situation in their household. He don't have no sons. We need to know what we supposed to do about our dad. Go ahead.
And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, the daughters of Zelophehad speak right.
What do they do?
Speak right.
Uh-oh, this will be a problem for the Ike Turner.
They speaking?
Shut your mouth. Hoglaw. Milk cow. Mala. Yeah, right, get it.
Thou shalt surely give them a possession of an inheritance among their father's brethren.
See, among their father's brother. Who's your father's brother? Who? Quit whispering. Say it loud. Everybody gonna say you wrong. Huh? Uncle, look. Your uncle, your father's brother. So they was like, should it just go directly to him? Is it automatic? Because that's what it would be. It would be automatic. Let's read some more.
And thou shalt cause the inheritance of their father to pass unto them. And thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, saying, if a man die and have no son, then ye shall cause his inheritance to pass unto his daughter.
Unto his what?
Unto his daughter. And if he have no daughter, then ye shall give his inheritance unto his brethren.
So now this leveled the playing field. Who's ever next in line, get the inheritance, male or female. That's a good thing y'all brought to the table, because you can have 100 children trying to get one boy and have 20 girls, and never will get a boy. And then if you do get a boy, he want to be a girl. Maybe a problem. Go ahead.
Verse 10.
What it say?
And if he have no brethren, then he shall give his inheritance unto his father's brother.
Right.
And if his father have no brethren, then you shall give his inheritance unto his kinsman that is next to him of his family, and he shall possess it. And it shall be unto the children of Israel a statute of judgment, as Yahweh commanded Moses.
So this is a statute of judgment. We got laws and then we got statutes and judgment. They're not amendments to laws, but they assist the law in helping you out of a situation, so to speak, that you find yourself in of no error of your own, so to speak. This is the deal. My father just don't have no son. This is the deal with Boaz and Ruth, the Moabites. That was an inheritance. Naomi's sons were Israelites, not Ruth and her sisters. So the inheritance from Naomi's son passed to Boaz because he was the next near kinsman. Naomi said, I'm too old. I ain't having no more children. But she said, I want to go with you. I just want to go with you. She said, well, look, I ain't having no more sons, so you don't look. And then you 40, and if I have a baby now, you going to be 80 when he old enough to marry. But that's where Boaz came in, and you'll see that inheritance coming from the next of kin in this documentation. Go ahead, read some more.
Real quick, could we say right now, when the daughters came before them, Noah and Eleazar and the congregation, could we say right now that they're in probate court?
No, it's just, well,
it's
it's the congregation, it's church.
Right, what I mean by the situation itself being probate.
It was being ruled. It had to be ruled,
Right, so what we
just like
now-
probate was.
Could have been, absolutely,
If
bro.
a mother and a father both pass and they have children, and their parents didn't leave a will, you do not automatically get their stuff.
Right.
That house will sit there until they settle this in court.
Right.
But you have to.
Absolutely.
Your parent, you have to do this, you all.
Absolutely,
Have
bro.
to have some said that if I'm gone, this is where I want my stuff to go to.
Paperwork. Absolutely.
But you gotta do it, because people do that. See, that's why I asked the question.
Yeah.
Are they in probate right now?
And when you said court, I had to think about it that our priests were our court system.
Yeah.
And the assembly was the jury. See, this is the congregation of Israel was the people, but the priests were the congregation of the Lord.
Right.
It's two separate groups. It's one that I deal with to deal with the people. That's the way it was under that order of Aaron. But now that we under the order of Melchizedek, one high priest, we all little Melchizedek priests. But with no high priest, ain't no more high priest. You hear a Negro calling himself high priest, he in that old order. Trying to pump it off or push it off on you without you knowing about it. Straighten them out. What you mean, high priest? But you got cannabis on you? What's going on? Come down, you 35,000 feet. Bring it down. Hold up, swole up. Go ahead, where we at?
Verse 12. And Yahweh said unto Moses, Get thee up into this Mount Abiram, and see the land which I have given unto the children of Israel. And when thou hast seen it, thou also shalt be gathered unto thy people.
You can hold that now. We're going to get right to another answer to this. Numbers 36, 1 through 13. We're going to deal with this again. You know, are they going to clean it up some more? It's coming back again, y'all. It came up again. And y'all, these were happening in the wilderness. So when you see Ezekiel 20:36, it said, but the only difference of the wilderness, you're going to be amongst the wilderness of the people. We're not going to leave this land in captivity, go to a safety spot, and then go to the kingdom. If you think you're going to some wilderness where you ain't had to pass under a rod and you just going to be living free, eating fruit and ain't got to work and doing nothing, you going to come from slothfulness to the paradise? No, you're in the wilderness now of the people. You're growing up with the chaff and the wheat, and you're going to be separated at the second coming if you're alive. But what's going to separate you before that is the Antichrist, because he's going to make you choose up. And that happens before the second coming. So y'all, we want to be clear on that. You're not going to no safety location, nowhere hiding out till the 3.5 years are over on tribulation. Because too many other prophecies say he should make war with the saints and he should do what? And what are they called? Saints. Saints. And guess what? If you do go there, guess what the script say? Those that died for the cause of the Lord shall enter first. Those that remain alive coming in last. So go on over there and put yourself in last place. Let's read some more.
Book of Numbers, chapter 36, 1.
Yes, sir. 1 through 13.
The whole chapter.
Yeah, whole chapter. Yeah.
Verse 1.
What it say?
And the chief fathers of the families of the children of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, of the families of the sons of Joseph, came near and spake before Moses and before the princes, the chief fathers of the children of Israel.
I don't care where you look in this Bible, when there's a supernatural issue or an event going on that has to correct us, it lists lineage. Some Negro come around here hollering he's some prophet or he from somewhere else, he's some great man. Have him run lineage. That lineage ain't adding up. Don't play no games with that. Everywhere we read, it runs lineage. when there's a supernatural event for you to look at this man, because it has to take it back to that beginning of the prophecy for you to be that offspring. Benjamin Carter was the son of some other man that worked, and then he was a bus driver. Hugh Lyon Mitchell, that called himself the Messiah. His father was a Pentecostal preacher. He used to sing in the choir. His sister, Leona Mitchell, was an opera singer. No, Leona Mitchell, ain't it? Leona Mitchell, yeah. Did she change it? But she's an opera singer. Then he joined the Air Force. Then he was a Muslim. Then he was Moses X. Then he was the Messiah. Then he elevated to the Father. But all of it's based on the people believing that he can go through like this. Where are you reading the scripture? And then the Messiah shall join the United States Air Force. He shall also pick up the sword of Ishmael and become a Muslim. He shall be cast out of the Muslim doctrine for peeping over the stalls in the urinals. That's what happened. That's why the Muslims kicked him out. Boy, it's in the history.
What did that mean?
That's in the newspaper. And the Muslim doctrine, why they told him you got to get out of here. You look straight. I don't care what the conversation is. You keep looking straight. You look to the side, it's a problem. They threw him out of there, then he became Moses the prophet. The next thing you know, he Yahweh ben Yahweh. Or wrong way ben wrong way. Ended up in Leavenworth Penitentiary, and followers still think he the Messiah in jail, watching socks, and then you hear it slap. Phone check, homie. We'll pick up next week.
The Lord gotta go.
The Lord gotta go.
Still got followers.
Christ getting phone check.
Let's read some more.
Verse 2.
What it say?
And they said, Yahweh commanded my master to give the land for inheritance by lot to the children of Israel. And my Lord was commanded by Yahweh to give the inheritance of Zehoshaphat, our brother, unto his daughters.
Right.
And if they be married to any of these sons of the other tribes of the children of Israel, then shall their inheritance be taken from the inheritance of our fathers, and shall be put to the inheritance of the tribe whereunto they are received. So shall it be taken from the lot of our inheritance.
So if we got into the 36th chapter, the 26th chapter, we'll see that what this is basically speaking of. If a father only had daughters, if he was of the tribe of Manasseh, his daughter had to marry somebody from the tribe of Manasseh. It keeps the tribe strong.
Right.
That was the prerequisite. If she married somebody from a different tribe and her father have no son, she breaking the rules. The inheritance is cut off. Probate cut off from you because you broke the rules. You just wanted a husband. You didn't care who it from and what tribe it was from.
Right.
But according to this law was specific about who was to be married of your same tribe.
And they're looking at tribes, just listening to and break this off, they're looking at tribes like households.
Yeah.
So if you are in the tribe of Levi, and you wanted to marry a Judite, you taking money out of Levi's mouth.
Yeah.
That's the way they're looking at this. This is all of ours. Your father who died with all this wealth, you're going to give it to another tribe. We need this. Get one of our men, marry our men from your own tribe, and you keep this wealth in our tribe. That's what they're saying here. You're going to give away our money. We need this.
There's nothing wrong with that either.
Right. But the fact is, the
white supremacists do it to this day.
When you look at the tribe, the tribe is the family unit.
That's right.
You got different households in the tribe of Levi, but they say, no, this is our family.
Yeah. Well, the house of Levi, just basically the house of Levi.
Bloodline,
We got the
man.
house of
Bloodline.
Judah. We're going to get to some scriptures here. We're going to deal with a direct situation with Judah and his son, wife. And what happened, we're going to see a problem and a solution for that, how that problem got fixed, y'all. But we have to do it according to the Bible rules. You cannot change the rules for your situation. See, you let somebody teach the scriptures and they'll teach law breaking, but won't let you get on board in dominoes with a 5. Now they'll hold you to 15 on board, then 10 are out, but they'll tell you to break the laws of the Most High.
Right.
But you can't break domino rules. Let's read some more.
Verse 4.
What it say?
And when the Jubilee of the children of Israel shall be, then shall their inheritance be put unto the inheritance of the tribe whereunto they are received. So shall their inheritance be taken away from the inheritance of the tribe of our fathers.
See, and what we're talking about now is Leviticus 25th chapter, the year of the Jubilee. You understand that when the year of the Jubilee comes, inheritance go back to where they supposed to be. They would go in and look at all the records. They like, look, that house owned by Judah over there, that house really belongs to the son of Zebulun. We're going to give it back to him. It's the year of release. That house goes back to its natural right inheritor. This is probate court, the Jubilee, Leviticus 25th chapter. Let's read some more.
And Moses commanded the children of Israel according to the word of Yahweh, saying, the tribe of the sons of Joseph have said well. This is the thing which Yahweh doth command concerning the daughters of Zelophehad.
Right.
Saying, let them marry to whom they think best. Only to the family of the tribe of their father shall they marry.
See, so it ain't ordering you. This ain't no arranged marriage, is it? It say who they know best, long as if it's a Judite, long as it's a Judite. We ain't gonna force them to marry Earl the Judite. They may like Harold the Judite. It's their choice. You can't force them to marry him. Let's read some more.
So shall the inheritance of the children of Israel remove from the tribe to tribe.
So that their inheritance don't do tribe jumping. Now we got to figure out who this property really belonged to. We got to sift through all these tribes to trace it back and say it belonged to you. This was to prevent that. That's the solution for the problem of of a father having no children. This is the final solution. No tribe jumping. You tribe jump, is just waste of time with this fix. Right. Let's read some more.
Today I want to say,
go ahead, brother.
Most High deal with order, just like in Revelation 21 where you got the 12 gates, you go through the gates.
Yes, sir.
Right.
You ever hear that?
Yep.
Order.
Yep.
Same order.
Yep.
12 gates, 12 foundations.
Right.
But these gates are broke up into 3s. North, west, south. The 4 times 3 is 12, right?
Yep.
So there's 3 gates over here, but they're on the east side. You go in over there. Then there's the court of the Gentiles. But that's just the holy city. You will not live in New Jerusalem. That's where you go to worship. But when you get into Ezekiel 37 chapter, it talks about all of the tribes' lots. And he shall have this much lot from Jordan over to here. And he shall have this lot from this plot of land over to there. But the city, New Jerusalem, where the temple, where the Lord is, they go there. It's only 144 square furlongs. 144 square. When you look up a furlong, see how long a furlong is, and then multiply it times 144. The city will be about what we look at the size of Texas. Let's read some more.
I want to ask one quick
Go ahead,
question
brother.
about that. When we're looking at what we just read about tribe jumping, the way Eldon broke it out with the 12 gates in the city and the order, and just saying no tribe jumping, that keeps also your tribes pure, because if all 12 tribes mingled together, it would just come out to be one tribe.
Yeah.
It would only be one tribe of Israel.
Right.
Because if you got Judah mixing with Benjamin and everybody, all 12 mixing together, then there wouldn't be no more. There's no 13th gate for all the mixed babies to go through out of all the 12 tribes.
Absolutely.
It's keeping all your bloodlines pure. Staying with what your people doing what you do.
See, and that's just not for all those that saying we ain't supposed to mix with no other nation. If you got it down understood, you really ain't supposed to mix with another tribe. Right. See, it's in-house first.
Yeah.
Before you even start thinking about outside the nation.
It's the examples of Samson and his mama and daddy said that to them, just like the Canaanites said it about their own people. You gotta go outside. You ain't found a Canaanite woman that you gotta go get a Hebrew. You know, so it works both ways because Samson's daddy and mama was on him about getting a Philistine woman. You got 11 tribes to pick from before you go get one of them if you can't find one in your own.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what all that means. Stay with your own.
That's right.
Get her to me for wife.
Right.
But
she pleases me with
it gives the reason, if you do, understand that you may cut off your inheritance if you do. See, so that's just the consequence of doing it. You may cut your inheritance off. You may find out something was coming to you and it ended up in probate court.
Yep.
See, a lot of times we had what was called the potter's field. Didn't have no inheritance. Nobody left a tomb to bury somebody in. It was what called the potter's field. They would just bury you out there. No grave marker, no nothing. Taxpayers pay for it. They dig a hole and throw you in the potter's field. No inheritance. Abraham bought that tomb from them Hamites, and they had the paperwork through 400 years in Egypt. When Jacob died, they was going to bury him. Esau was blocking it, and he said the tomb belonged to me. Jacob's son said, you bought a lie. That tomb belongs to us. We got the paperwork. You got the paperwork after 430 years? We got the paperwork. Naphtali, go get the paperwork. You talking about fast. Naphtali was fast. They say he would run so fast he could run the top of corn stalks and they wouldn't bend over. They say run back to Egypt. We left the paperwork there. He took off. When he got the paperwork, brought it back. 400-year-old document. Paperwork still good. Just like Sirach 42:7. Let everything be done in writing. How you not gonna have, you say your wife is your possession, but you ain't got no paperwork. You got your AutoZone receipt for your brakes. You got a warranty on the washer and dryer.
Those things are important.
You talking about your chief possession and you ain't got no paperwork. We don't have to have no paperwork. You's about to lie. What you think the 10 Commandments was? That was paperwork. Moses came down with, here's the paperwork. We's married y'all to the Lord. Hear what he say we got to do. Y'all agree? Yes, we agree. Sprinkle them with the hymen blood because they came through Egypt through the Passover and was washed clean, free of sin, so they're virgin. So he sprinkled them with symbol of a young virgin, her first time with her husband. Here's the paperwork. But before he can get down there with the paperwork, they was clowning. Mindset was already back in Egypt. Moses told my Lord, they hollering, they hollering for you, Lord. Lord said, that ain't hollering for me. That's club holler.
I smell a stench in there.
Yeah, that's club holler.
Thank you, lady.
No, I smell gyration. That ain't for me. And when Moses looked down there, they was dancing around that golden calf. He made them ground it up. He ground up the law and made them eat it. Then he went back and got another set of the 10 Commandments. It was 2 sets, y'all, of a new marriage contract. We're going to renew the vows. What you got back there, Elijah?
Say the Darius has to do the same thing and send back some right to the Cyrus for the building of the temple.
Yes, sir.
Because he added in a memorial that he had decreed for the Israelites.
Absolutely right, bro. So, y'all, we understand obedience more than sacrifice. You can get up and come down here every Saturday. But if it ain't about obedience, you just want to be seen down here and it gets routine for you, you may just be down here to go over to the table. Let's read, y'all. Where we at?
Verse 7.
What it say?
Verse 8. Verse 8. And every daughter that possessed an inheritance in any tribe of the children of Israel.
Every daughter got an inheritance. See, y'all, when y'all hear that hate worship, hate the woman, how you gonna hate your own flesh? You don't even want her to have an inheritance. And you got children by her. What happens if you die?
She be all right.
See, I got her on my insurance policy. I say, well, who's the inheritor if you die? He say, my mama. Your mama? And you got children by her? Your mama don't think them your children anyway. What do you think they gonna get?
Nothing.
Outlive you.
What you got? Like
Until the seed only comes from the Father, you know?
that's what it would mean. The seed can only come. This is telling you all throughout these scriptures. It says seed, your sons and your daughters. It ain't never orchestrated us. It go through here, or you gonna have a problem with inheritance law. So whoever teaching that it gotta come from the Father is way left field on this. Because all the devil will do is kill all the men and leave the woman. So who's the inheritor now?
He is.
He is, absolutely, bro. Read on, let's read some more.
And in every daughter that possesses an inheritance in any tribe of the children of Israel shall be wife unto one of the family of the tribe of her father.
Right.
That the children of Israel may enjoy every man the inheritance of his father.
Right.
Neither shall the inheritance remove from one tribe to another.
Right, no tribe jump.
But every one of the tribes of the children of Israel shall keep himself to his own inheritance.
See, and when you see all that crazy talk out there, you know, yeah, girl, I like them men from the island. Yeah, they know how to do it. That's tribe jumping. Tribe jumping. How you gonna talk about what's happening over the Dominican Republic?
Say Stella can't jump. Stella can't try to jump.
No,
Get her groove
no,
back.
she can't get a groove back. Let's read some more. Where we at? Y'all, we're gonna finish this up. We got a couple more scripts. We're gonna get on out of here.
Verse 10.
What it say?
Even as Yahweh commanded Moses, so did the daughters of Zelophehad.
Right.
For Milah, Mahalah, Tirzah, and Harlah, and Milcah, and Noah, the daughters of Zelophehad,
Right.
were married unto their father's brother's sons.
Right.
And they were married into the families of the sons of Manasseh,
Like they dad. Go in.
the sons of Joseph. And their inheritance remained in the tribe of the family of their father. These are the commandments and the judgments which Yahweh commanded by the hand of Moses unto the children of Israel in the plain of Moab by Jordan near Jericho.
So this is what we're talking about, a problem. How do women get inherited? Yo, this is the only way Christ could be king. You got, it didn't say David, a specific son. It said the seed of David. David had sons and daughters. You got Matthew 1 that lists the line that Joseph came through and King Solomon. The problem is Jehoiakim was a king that burned all of the Bibles. Burn them up. The father said, we're going to strike him down and remove him from off of Israel's inheritance list, and no son of his shall ever sit on the throne again. If Joseph is Christ's natural father, he cannot be the king of Israel. That line was cut off. But when you get into Luke 3, now you got David's other son, his 8th son, Nathan. And it runs his line, and guess where it ends up? With Mary, who father and mother didn't have no sons. She's a Judite.
Hey, Daniel.
Uh-huh.
They cussed that Joseph would be the daddy too. Then.
They do what?
They cussed that Joseph would be the daddy because he was from that line.
Cut it right off because he's on the other side. He couldn't have been. So it runs Mary, David's son, Nathan is her father. So it runs that course for her. And now Christ can be king again because he's inheriting the throne from David, but just through the son of Nathan. His son, Nathan. Just like Jeremiah says, 23:6, the branch of David, the offspring of David. That could be son or daughter. Y'all, we finished that. Did we get out of verse 13?
Yeah, he finished.
Okay, we got a couple more. Y'all gonna get out of here. Joshua chapter 17, verse 3 through 14. And then y'all want to hit this Genesis 38. I tell you what, because we on short time. Y'all read that Joshua 17, verse 3 through 14. That's the lot, the inheritance given out about the daughters of Jehoshaphat. When they getting their lot, here you go right here. This was your father was supposed to get this. This go to you. And then y'all make sure y'all read Leviticus 25, the law of the Jubilee, when everything go back. Like how this law say bankruptcy, 7 years you wipe clean. It was total difference in our land. If you had to pawn your or give your land, you fell on hard times and you had to sell your land to your brother or your neighbor or another tribe, it wasn't his. He only knew he was just on this land borrowed time till the Jubilee was up. Usually a Jubilee run 50 years. 7 times 7, 49, and then one more year, 50. Everything was released. Or you had shorter Jubilees after 7 years. Everything went loose. You know, if you was a servant for somebody after 7 years, he had to cut you loose. But some people didn't have nowhere to go. They like, hey, can I stay here?
Right.
That's when they would all your ear. And you saying, I belong to you forever. I just like being Jeffrey the butler. You don't beat me, you feeds me good. My children going to the best school. They ain't going with yours sitting in the front of the class, but they still on the same bus going to the school. But I will take that because I'm living good.
See, just right there real quick, it's like if you are a janitor at Washington University, your children can go to school for free.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Just you being a janitor
What
at
is
that
that?
school.
Yes.
Your children get a free education.
Daniel say, what's that in, Mom? I'll take it, yeah, but Daniel say, what is it?
I thought there was some Kool-Aid with some special honey. That ain't no Kool-Aid, is it? Say it loud. Park Arco.
2020.
That's that stuff right there.
2020.
It'll not be
But y'all, let's finish this up, y'all, because I got to make a couple announcements. We got to get out of here.
Where you going, mate?
Hey, Josh,
Y'all still
be
plenty
quiet
of food
there.
over there. Help yourself to something, eat and drink over there. Self-service around here. Just clean up after yourself. Where we at?
Where we going?
We're going to Genesis. Well, we said y'all
Genesis 38.
do the Joshua
We going to Genesis 38.
17, 3 through 14 to look at the inheritance. Now we're going to go to the law of this Deuteronomy 25, 5 through 10, and we're going to get into Genesis 38 and we're going to close out. Because we're going to see some all tied around this situation when it don't go according to law. When it don't go according to law, y'all, law must be there. Contrary to belief that the law was nailed to the cross, you cannot have sin. Romans 4:15, where there's no law, there's no sin.
That's right.
And we know that there's law with all this sinning going on. If it wasn't for no law, y'all think, because now look, I know we don't like the police, but can you imagine with no police? I'm just talking about how you gonna go to work and your neighbor's already on the porch at 5 o'clock in the morning and they ain't got no job. What you think they waiting on?
You to go to work. Be in your crib.
And you be like, man, you been sitting out here all day, you didn't see nobody come in my house. No, dog. I ain't seen nobody, man. It must have been when I nodded off. You know, I was smoking that good chronic, dog. And you know how that do me, dog. I ain't heard nothing. Right. Let's get it, y'all. Genesis 38, 1 through 10.
38. I thought we was going to Deuteronomy 25.
I was just checking, seeing was y'all paying attention. I see y'all on point.
We ducked you the first time.
You say y'all covered me first time. Well, you know, boys, that sometimes, it ain't all the timers yet.
It's getting to be more.
Yeah, like Sis say, it's becoming more often timers. Let's get it, y'all.
I'm going to be reading in the book of Deuteronomy, in the 25th chapter. I'm going to start the reading at verse 5. Let's get some understanding, family.
In this law, y'all, law reigns supreme. You cannot have any gift without law. Every gift in the Bible, speaking in tongues, healing, miracles, prophesying, they're all governed by law. You cannot speak in tongues unless there's an interpreter there. That's the law. You just can't holler out anything you want just to fascinate the people that's sitting around. You can't talk a bunch of Hebrew and everybody here speak English. It must be an interpreter to say, hey, y'all, what he said is praise to the Most High. Let's practice it again. but some men are holler smooth Hebrew words and everybody wondering, what the hell is he saying? He don't know. Because if you ain't never heard him do a conversation with another individual, I'm talking about a conversation. Talk about the game in Hebrew. I ain't talking about no smooth soliloquies of you just quoting some Yahweh Bahashem, Hawashaba. Oh, brother, hallelujah. Yehoshua HaMashiach, brother. Those are smooth sayings. I'm talking about a conversation in Hebrew with your partner. And then there's an interpreter there, boy. You talking about Antonio Brown, ain't you? What you got back there, Elisha?
I was going to say, in most cases, you know, they don't even question the brothers who claim to speak Hebrew.
Right.
If you notice, they always interpret themselves. There's no one there to interpret what they're saying that's not part of that from.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? There's never anyone that's independent of their gathering that's there to interpret. It's always them interpreting themselves.
Absolutely, bro. And if everybody's speaking English, what we talking Hebrew? I'm not saying take away our language, but I'm just saying, with all you're getting, get what? If we understand in English, everybody need to be speaking English until we get a Hebrew course. It's supposed to be for the non-believers when you speak another language. Because basically what you're doing is speaking in their language to convince them that's the miracle. But it must be done according to the rules. Or they can say whatever it means. Let's get it, y'all.
Reading in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 25 and verse 5.
What it say?
It reads, if brethren dwell together,
right,
and one of them die and have no child, the wife of the dead shall not marry without unto a stranger. Her husband's brother shall go in unto her and take her to him to wife and perform the duty of an husband's brother unto her. And it shall be that the firstborn which she beareth shall succeed in the name of his brother which is dead, that his name be not put out of Israel.
See, and this was the problem with how John the Baptist's head got cut off. Because he went to Herod and he told him, you with your brother's wife and he ain't dead. And you lusting after your niece, they daughter. You gone crazy. He like, I know, John, but I'm just ate up. But Herodias, who was married to his brother, she like, boy, I'm so sick of that nigga coming around here talking all that noise. And she knew the wiles of what he was weak to. Her daughter dancing. I'm talking about her hips was moving 10 miles per hour faster than Shakira's. When she was dancing, he was like this. And he told him, till I give her half the kingdom. I give her half the kingdom. Now this her mama. And your eyes like this, you know that cartoon was like, ahooga, and they come out like that at the daughter. So not only did he buy law after law, and then he done said, I'll give her half the kingdom. She say, oh, you got him, baby. He gonna give up half the kingdom. Go on, do that move we talk about. Do that
start twerk.
Yeah, do that Galilean twerk. Put that on. And when she did that, he was hook, line, and sinker. Boy, come on, what they was doing. And she said, tell him what you want. Cut John the Baptist's head off and put it on a plate. And it say Herod was so hurt, but he made the order.
What nation was Herod?
Cut John the Baptist's head off and put it on a plate for lusting for his daughter. Y'all, this is what we're talking about when it get to these levels. When you can't control it up here. And just seeing this make you do that. It'll drive you crazy. That second Ezra, what is it, 3rd chapter, 4th chapter, where it talks about what are the 3 most powerful things. Is it wine, women, or truth? However it breaks it down, and one king says women, because King, I saw you. Your wife took your crown off and slapped you on the jaw, and you just laughed. Ooh, baby. She would have been killed for that.
Yep, in front of all his boys.
Now, they say wine. Look, you peed on yourself yesterday and didn't know it. Wine is the mastery. I'm just sitting up there with a big wet spot right in the front. Then it say, but truth overrides everything. What you got, Theo?
What's the movie a while back where this man was sitting on the witness stand? I forgot the name of the movie. The woman was sitting out on the witness table or whatever. She was swinging her legs under the.
What y'all shorties up to back there?
I told y'all to be quiet.
Go ahead.
Basic instinct. Oh,
That's the one, yeah, when she crossed her leg and then uncrossed it and crossed it back.
He was through at that point. He was finished. The investigation was over.
But what you didn't hear him say while you was talking, he said she didn't even give him a lap dance. Huh? So the point of it was that, like, she was just dancing. She didn't touch him. She didn't give him a lap dance.
She gave him a visual.
A visual.
That was it. That's
all
all
it took. She didn't touch him or rub up.
Didn't have to. It's up here now.
Yep.
And this is what you have to go at. Especially that's why I say gird your loins with what?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Truth has to be in this area. It must be in this area. Because when you break up, what's the first thing you start talking about? This area. Girl, I don't even know why I'm married. Girl, I'm so sick of that swimming pool shrinkage. And he, well, hell, I didn't know. Well, what about you? Hell, I done spent all my money at Home Depot getting 2x4s to keep me from falling in your. There they go. There they go. Telling all the business to the whole world.
That was a lustful
all
relationship.
About this area.
They had no business together.
Well, he ain't gonna take this. Is he? Let's get it. Where we at? Let's finish this up, y'all. We gotta get out of there. Emo got a class, you gotta get done. Let's get it. Where we at?
We're in the book of Deuteronomy.
And I got another board that I gotta do a short video with y'all like we're doing. We're gonna continue these short ones. This one is saved by grace, so we'll do a short video on that after we get through. Go ahead, bro.
The book of Deuteronomy.
What it say?
Chapter 25 and verse 7.
Uh-huh.
It reads, and if the man like not to take his brother's wife, then let his brother's wife go up to the gate unto the elders, and say, my husband's brother refuseth to raise up unto his brother a name in Israel. He will not perform the duty of my husband's brother. Then the elders of his city shall call him and speak unto him. And if he stand to it and say, I like not to take her, then shall his brother's wife come unto him in the presence of the elders, and loose his shoe from off his foot, and spit in his face, and shall answer and say, so shall it be done unto that man that will not build up his brother's house.
Right.
And his name shall be called in Israel, the house of him that hath his shoe loose.
See, so you don't want that name. Man, that's the loose shoe house. Man, brother wouldn't keep the command.
Now, hold on. And that shoe was in the opening prayer. The word shoe, he said, it's the same situation. In the opening prayer, with 108, read,
Yeah, we'll find that verse.
It talked about throwing a shoe.
Well, it's coincident. It ain't coincidental. Some be hit. But y'all see what this law was. He would actually, but you see, they went to court. This was a court battle. This was a woman in court about her inheritance, what she's supposed to get. He don't want to do what he's supposed to do. This is the law in Israel. Now, there's a flip side to that. There's some that want to do the law, but they don't want the responsibility. So they did what's called quartus interruptus.
Drop it on the.
We don't want to get too graphic up in here, but y'all look that up. Genesis 38, where we going?
Okay.
It's
1 through
verse
10.
In verse 9, he said, Edom will I cast out my shoe.
Right. I tell you what, read that verse 11, because I said something about this a couple weeks ago in this Deuteronomy 25 and 11. If two men striving together, women, if your man fighting and he's fighting another man, you can help him, but the best thing for you to do is go grab a cast iron skillet and bust his adversary across the head. But there's something you cannot do, even if he's getting the sleeves beat off of him. Let's read that verse 11. What it say?
Verse 11.
What it say?
When men strive together one with another, and the wife of the one draweth near for to deliver her husband out of the hand of him that smiteth him.
Her husband is losing.
Taking a whooping.
He's taking a whooping. Yeah. May nots everywhere. May go down, they may not. Go ahead.
And putteth forth her hand.
And putteth what?
Forth her hand. And taketh him by the secret.
Right.
Then thou shalt cut off her hand. Thine eye shall not pity her.
See, she can't go in the low. She can't. Because if he don't kill him in the fight, she may get excited. Oh, I see why he's winning.
He's girthy down there.
This heavy machinery.
Have a handful.
She turned around and started beating the husband.
Right. Y'all, this a living book, y'all. That's why, y'all, we have to be careful. Mothers and different things teach women to kick men between the legs. That's the only way you're going to render them down to your level, but that's terrible. You cannot, because you destroy his seed, and that's a terrible sin. Men have to learn how to get a woman off sideways. They turn to the side. Nothing but hip bone when she kicks. Nothing but hip bone. You better throw it off with one. Kick one more time. Look, I ain't gonna put my hands on you, but I have every right to take them off. Watch it. To the side. Right here. All hip action. You standing there like John Wayne. I done told you ever. Hey. I said that, and I wanted to, we had to prove all things, so I want to hit it back. Y'all, let's finish this up with Genesis chapter 38.
Y'all know he's performing at the ambassador tonight.
No. But y'all, this is what we're talking about: problem, determination, and solution. We've seen this problem. We understood it from a righteous perspective about inheritance. Now we're going to the actual event where the brother that died, so it's time to put the law into effect. And then we got some doing, and then now we got some manipulating the law. They want just the benefit of it. They're opportunists. We got a lot of opportunists around here, y'all. They see a group of people say, this is opportunity. I see a gold mine. I need to write a book. Yeah. How to get over on the suckers, I mean sheep.
For $20.
Let's get it. Genesis 38. We're going to get this, y'all. We're going to close on out.
The book of Genesis, chapter 38 and verse 1.
What it say?
And it came to pass at that time that Judah went down from his brethren and turned into a certain Adulamite.
A what kind of mite?
An Adulamite.
Right.
Whose name was Hira. And Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite.
Of a what?
Of a Canaanite. Whose name was Shua. And he took her and went in unto her.
So now this who we ain't supposed to be with under no circumstance. This Deuteronomy 7, this Leviticus 18. These is a Canaanite. Can't be with him. This is Judah, our forefather. Now when you get into the testament of the 12 patriarchs, it's going to run this in detail. He's going to tell you, I wasn't supposed to even be with that woman. I know it, but she just, I was full of that good wine, and I was looking at all that wagon she was dragging, and I couldn't help myself. So, and then it say her parents had a little change. They was husbandmen, so they own liquor stores. So this is justification for going because they got paper. Let's read some more.
Okay, 1 second. Let me get this right. Verse 3. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And she conceived.
And she did what?
She conceived.
Conceived, conception, to make pregnant. Go ahead.
And bare a son. And he called his name Er. And she conceived again and bare a son. And she called his name Onan. And she yet again conceived and bare a son. And called his name Shelah. And he was at Kezer when she bare him. And Judah took a wife for Er his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. And Er, Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Most High. And Yahweh slew him.
Put him to death.
That's why his name was Er.
Error. He made an error. Got rid of error. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 8. And Judah said unto Onan, go in unto thy brother's wife and marry her.
Deuteronomy 25:5. Law time. Go ahead.
And raise up seed to thy brother. And Onan knew that the seed should not be his. And it came to pass, when he went in unto his brother's wife, that he spilled it on the ground.
What'd he do?
Spilled it on the ground.
Cordis interruptus. Got the goods, but didn't want the responsibility. See, he'd have did better off just saying, no. I just ain't gonna do it. I mean, I just don't want to do that. He'd have been better off. But you gonna get in there? And then, oh, by the way, I didn't want to go all the way with this.
She done went all the way.
Go ahead, read some more.
That he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give seed to his brother. And the thing which he did displeased the Most High.
Right.
Wherefore he slew him also.
See, so both them sons dead.
Hey, Daniel.
Yeah, go ahead,
I
bro.
want to make a point here, too. We just got to reading in Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy is after Genesis.
Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy. Yeah. It's in Genesis here. So they knew this law.
Yeah, they knew it.
Yeah.
This is the old law.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, look.
Yeah, this is.
That's a very good point. Because this after Mount Sinai.
Right.
You know. So he knew the deal. He knew what to expect. You know. Is this past Mount Sinai? Yeah, 38. No, because Jacob. Yeah.
This is Judah.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure, because a lot of people will say, well, that law didn't exist.
This Judah the man.
Yeah.
So this from the 12 tribes. So Moses hadn't come out yet.
Yeah, hadn't come out yet. Okay. So it's beforehand this law, but you can see even the law that was given on Mount Sinai or in the wilderness, the Deuteronomy 25. Even though this was way before that, that law is exact, and it's what we have to look to prove that why he was in error. So it's the same law, it's just different priesthoods. The same exact law. Ain't no laws changed. When Cain murdered Abel in the garden, is it any different from the murder what Judas Iscariot did? Let's read some more, y'all.
Well, there's one thing I just have a question about right here where the Lord slew the first son because he was wicked. And then for his brother to raise up seed in his name and didn't do it, and he slew him.
Right.
It wasn't that if he would have done it. See, what I'm looking at is that was this man supposed to have a child because the Lord killed him because he was wicked? That's what I'm looking at.
No, you're looking at who now?
The first son.
Right.
The Lord slew, yeah, because he was wicked.
Right.
So now he wants his brother, his Judah meaning, not the Lord.
Right.
His father wants his brother to have a son by him so he can raise him up.
Absolutely.
And have him up. But if it wouldn't have been, like, was it Ezekiel 18 about the sons of the father and the sins pass on?
Right.
It still wouldn't have been his actual bloodline, meaning that boy could have been just as wicked as his father.
Right. He could have been.
But the point is that if his brother would have had a son for him and raised him up in his name.
March long, Mark.
Did you talk to Ish? Did you talk to Ishmael? Yeah. Okay, all right. Yeah, I see him. Yeah, I just wanted to talk to him before we left. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I was just trying to see this, that the two brothers got killed for disobeying the Lord, and there still wasn't a child produced from
Right.
this. That's
right.
what I was doing.
Right, but see, that don't change the law.
Okay.
The law stands supreme. It still must be, because he was wicked don't mean nothing.
Right.
There's still rules for the family.
Right.
See, anybody can get out of that. Go ahead. Be wicked, you cut off. That's your behavior. That don't change the law.
Right.
Go ahead, like.
That doesn't mean that his child is predestined to be wicked as well.
Right.
Exactly, because what the way it made me think about it was that if his brother had his son for him, he would just been raising him up as in his name, as being, this is my brother's son.
Right.
Even though he's technically mine.
Right.
Because he came out of my loins.
Right.
That's what I was looking at, as opposed to that that didn't mean that the boy that he would have had would have been still wicked. Even though he didn't come out of his loins, is the fact that the Lord killed this man for being wicked. Was he supposed to have a seed come after him?
Yeah.
Named up after him, because this was Judah's doing. Judah say, I want you to do this.
Right.
It wasn't, it was from the Lord, it was from Judah, the man, the father.
But Judah
Judah
exhibiting the law though. Because it's not Judah's fault that the boy was wicked.
Right. That answers
So
my
the
question.
law still have to be exacted.
Right.
It still has to be fulfilled because he still got two other sons.
Right.
So and then you got a daughter-in-law that's a widow now.
Right.
If there's a position for her to come out of widowhood,
Right.
this is the fix.
Right.
So let's read, y'all. Let's finish this up so we can get on out of here, y'all.
Where you going now?
You finish that on up. You finishing that chapter out. I just want you to read 1 through 10 to see the drama, and then we're gonna pick it up as Judah trying to fix the problem that he started, so to speak, because we're gonna see the baby boy he was supposed to give up to her, and he like, no, this heifer here killing my son, or causing him to be killed. This heifer more dangerous than a heart attack. Let's read. Where we at?
Verse 11.
What it say?
Then said Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law.
His what?
His daughter-in-law. Remain a widow at thy father's house.
See, remain a widow at thy father's house. Now we got that 1 Thessalonians, I believe, where it talks about if a man don't take care of his household, he's worse than an infidel. See, in that, you got a lot of these camps of tea. Man, I was talking about the widow. Well, you keep looking at a widow of a 60, 70, 80 years old. So
Right.
in your mind, this don't include the sex that's driving you.
Right.
You're not understanding that at war, if you got a 20-year-old husband and he go to war, because that's when Israel put him in the army, if he get killed at 20, there's a 20-year-old widow. She can't go to nobody else. She goes back to her father's house.
That's what he said.
And that's why it's saying widows in there. It ain't no certain ages. She could be 18 and a widow. Her husband dead in the army or he got killed by something. So that takes her back to her father's house where he's governing again. Right. And then another man could come and court her.
Back in order.
Back in order is Numbers, the 30th chapter. When you read the entire Numbers 30th chapter, it's saying the same exact language. And this what it means. You have to take care back of your children. If her husband died, she comes back to your house. She your responsibility again. And it's the same way with the assembly. If we have a sister down here and her husband died, we got to look out for her. That's why the welfare system was called for the fatherless and the widows. That's what it was about. We had to take care of them as an assembly. Not only that, if they had to come back to your home, you got a new addition to your house, but it's an old addition because it's your child. But she can't bring no man back with her, and ain't no paperwork.
No.
Dad, you don't know him. This Earl, you may know his uncle and them. They own that tire shop around there. You know, where's the paperwork? Oh, Daddy, we ain't got nothing. The times done changed since you've been. Times done changed.
Times ain't changed. Your mind done changed.
Right.
And so if she went back to her father's house and another man would come and marry her, he still have to pay a dowry.
Yes, sir.
You got to break it with her.
She back in his house. She's doing chores in the house. She's providing for the house. There's wealth in the house. It can't be just taken out for free.
It's not a used car lot. She's not been used up, and now she's worth less.
Look, and like she said, we know some of them out there teaching, if she ain't a virgin, you ain't got to pay no dowry no more. Where you reading that at? It's called the bride's price. Virgin is a higher price. Ain't been touched. Just like, and I don't want to compare this to a car lot, but a new car versus a used car. They'll tell you, take that used one on home. You know, bring it back tomorrow. We don't care. But there's a different price range. You got mileage on it already.
So, like, say the dad just want to get rid of the daughter and he just make it zero. Can you do that?
Well, it tells you, no, he has to follow the rules.
You can't prostitute your daughters out.
You can't prostitute him out. He may be doing that. But if a father just say, I don't need the wealth, go ahead and take her. You know, but it was always a situation because it's by the rules. Once you let somebody get away with it, the whole nation will follow suit. This is why when David killed Goliath and Saul said, you know what, boy, you outstanding. You know what this is? You get my daughter. You get to marry her. First thing he said, I'm a poor man. That don't mean he didn't have no money. That means he was a shepherd. Poor and begging are two different things. David had a job. Right, David had a job. He was a shepherd, wasn't he? He tended to the father's sheep. He knew how to work, but that don't pay much. It's like a pay scale here. You have poor, then you have middle class, then you have rich. What's down here? Begging. Poor means I make $8 an hour, and I work 12 hours a day, and I still got more month than money. I can't pay my bills. I got to take on another job. You're poor, but you're working. You can contribute. But begging is not to be counted as a life. Two different things, y'all. Don't want y'all to get that misunderstood. And then there's the rich who say, I got everything I need.
Don't need
God. If a man is working, but he still can't afford a wife, so he can't afford a wife.
No. I mean, you shouldn't bring drama on yourself. Then all that's saying is you just want to roll in the hay.
And that was what he just explained to you when David said, I'm a poor man, but did he had money? He didn't have wife money. So to have wife money.
Or the king, or the daughter of a king's money.
Right. So it's just
like Jared Kushner
her being
is a billionaire.
Daughter of her
so he can get a phone.
Right. It's like her being the daughter of the king and he worked at the gas station.
No.
Okay. He worked here. He worked at the Dollar General and he's dating her. He don't have money to date her because if they go out on a date, McDonald's ain't gonna be good enough for her.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So he says, I have to be able to hold my own.
Right.
I have to be the one to say, if she wants this, I have to be able to provide that for her. Okay, that's a difference in saying, okay, because like he talked about earlier, if you can't take care of yourself, you better off in a little hovel somewhere and sharing a bathroom down the hall with somebody and being able to stand on your own as a man, as opposed to trying to take on somebody and then you living always under behind the 8 ball because you can't never catch up because you done took on too much.
Now, if you got a woman, y'all started early and 10 babies pop out, that means he may have to get an extra job. There's something that has to count because he cannot fall off. You cannot fall off. So, y'all, it is what it is. It's not telling you have to have some major money to get married, but stay in your lane.
Exactly.
Stay in your lane. Shalom, y'all.
Shalom, family.
Let's finish this up, y'all. We're going to get on out of here.
Verse 11 from the top.
What it say?
Then said Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, remain a widow at thy father's house, till Shelah, my son, be grown.
Because he's a youngster. He's a laddie. He's a lad. Go ahead.
For he said, lest peradventure he die also, as his brethren did. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. And in process of time, the daughter of Shua, Judah's wife, died. And Judah was comforted, and went up unto his sheep herders, unto his sheep shearers, to Timnath, he and his friend Hira, the Adulamite.
So he took his sheep to go get them sheared. It was a spot where people shear your sheep, like you go get your car washed. You can wash it yourself, or you can take it to be washed. So he took his sheep up. These men, that's what they did. They shear sheep for you. Go ahead.
Verse 13. And it was told Tamar, saying, Behold, thy father-in-law goeth up to Timnath to shear his sheep. And she put her widow's garments off from her, and covered her with a veil, and wrapped herself, and sat in an open place, which is by the way to Timnath. For she saw that Shelah was grown, and she was not given unto him to wife.
See, so some years had them passed by. He still ain't said, Shelah, you need to marry her.
She waited.
He still, she waited. She had her father. She ain't doing nothing with no other man. She doing what she's supposed to do. Waiting on what her father-in-law said. When he get of age, don't worry about it. It's going to be a ceremony. He grown now. Y'all see the whiskers on his face and other chicks looking at it?
Yep.
So she hear, oh, he coming up to Timnath. Let me pull off my widow clothes, because there was widow garments to let everybody know.
Right.
She's a widow that's separate from a virgin. So if you marry her, you know she's always a widow. Look, every man, because of due benevolence, have to provide, according to Proverbs 27:27, enough milk for all thy maidens in thy house. You got to be able to take care of your household before you seek a wife. Exodus, 24:10. She must provide these three things: shelter, clothing, and food. If he does not provide these things, she's free to go. She can get out of there, because you can't handle it. And these things were understood. It wasn't just no free for all. Understand this, the Bible calls them females. They come with a fee. They're not free males. It's not for free. You're going to pay one way or the other. One way or the other, you're going to pay. See, Onan paid, didn't he? You are going to pay. One way or the other. They're not free males. Fee males.
That's why he said, I'm a poor man.
All right. Because he know they coming with a fee. And ain't nothing wrong with that, y'all. It ain't like men are arguing the case that because the world say you got to have 3 weeks salary. Who said that in the scripture? Why you arguing about that? We don't care what the world say. If you got enough to do a private wedding with her mother and father, your mother and father, and we having a dinner right here at the house, that's a marriage right there, and we're having a marriage feast right here. It don't take all that. I got enough. It's just a 1-bedroom, but it's going to suffice. I'm working on a trade. I'll be getting more. We'll be able to move and step our game up later on. But you can't stack 5 wives and you in that position. You can't buy yourself a 3-pack of drawers at the Dollar General. Yeah, the slit may be on the other side because they are the misprints. You know how Mormons do.
Irregular.
Yeah. But
say mostly cotton.
And we're not talking about their wants. You must meet their needs. 2 men, M-A-N, man, meeting all needs. Not they wants. Wants, they get a job. And then you got M-A-N, mooching ass Negro. Now you can get that man all you want. You keep getting that man and see where you end up. You're going to be a free male when you keep getting that man. You better go after M-A-N, meet all needs of a marriage. Not have to put you in a mansion and you got to ride in this car for him to say he's worthy of you. The needs, what a woman needs. Due benevolence. What you got back there, Ed?
So basically, if a man looking to take on another wife, he has to provide another shelter separate from his first wife.
Yes, he does.
He can't stack them up into
that's hustle and flow. That's Lucius Lyons living.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Well, that's Skinny Black's partner. Look, it's going to bring confusion. Not only is it going to bring confusion, but after a period of time, all of their cycles sync together. So you got 4 women in the house, all of them coming on at the same time. The house will never be clean. She's staying with her mama. She ain't your wife.
You ain't keeping the rules.
See, that's what we're talking about. Rules being ad-lib as they go on. Since when you reading the scripture, a man had a wife out of town? I mean, what is that in the scripture? How you got a wife in Atlanta? How you gonna protect her? Right, them at the door, they talking crazy and greasy again. You tell them niggas I'm 8 hours away and I'm on my way. I'ma step on it. When you get there, she be buried.
Hey, Dan.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
I just want to say, everybody know the show Good Times.
Yeah.
James always,
yes, sir.
The building stuff paid. They was barely making it. As long as he was in the show, they was making it.
That's right.
You know?
And
sometimes
look,
he lost his job, he took up the
sometimes he'll lose 3 jobs in one episode. I'm talking a half hour, 3 jobs. The car wash, down there at the plant. But guess what he do? Go looking again.
Yeah. Not slothful. Yeah.
Oatmeal every day. But he would go and provide. See, and that kept that family tight. And what we're understanding, y'all, so it ain't like it's strange to us. That family structure, they knew what it has to give out, and they looked out for their children. We got to make it the best for them. Then maybe the next generation to give us some relief around her.
Look, can I say this real quick?
Go ahead.
If y'all look at the Muslims here, and they have all these stores that they have, they're not investing in 401ks and things like that. Their family structure takes care of the family. You might have an old man and an old woman that work at the stove only for so long, and then they get to retire, and their retirement is only their children taking care of them till they die.
Yes, sir.
They ain't got no money saved, but that family has money constantly coming in to take care of the whole family. It's not one household. They have multiple households that they all operate as one. Okay, you have a brother with wives and children, and the father and the mother, and they all run that business and take care of all of their families out of that business. And then when they retire, they still get taken care of.
Right.
That's their retirement, not like what this country say, you must have all this stuff set up and for you to do your retirement. They take care of their families till they die.
Plus they getting tax-free money.
Like we used to.
Yeah, like we used to. And understand
That
one thing,
10
y'all.
years,
You know,
advance to the
these
next.
things, saving money is saving money for the future. However you get it done. But the bottom line, it may come to a time, like I say, and you may be glad you had some money up there. Some people can't save. It's best for you to let them take that money before you see it.
Sure is. One blessing we got.
You'll be pulling them same stunts. I'm going out, and I'm only gonna spend this $20 in the right pocket, but I'm not gonna spend this $500 I got in the left pocket. That's just so I'm feeling good while I'm up in the club. Guess what's gonna be left when you get home? That $20. Cause them $500 gonna be gone. You gonna be clowning, making it drizzle. Cause you ain't got no rain money. No, ain't got no rain money. You're in a local club around here. And you popping bottles you done snuck in the club. No, you balling on a budget. Let's get it, y'all. Where we at?
I'm a good half pint in the back bottle.
Right. Boy, under the table with Professor Liquor, unscrew it.
I took a whole half gallon at the end of the club once. I had to sit out for the whole table.
Let's get it, y'all. Let's finish this up, y'all. We gotta get on out of here because I gotta do a short video as well. Go ahead, bro.
The book of Genesis, chapter 38 and verse 15.
What it say?
When Judah saw her, he thought her to be an harlot, because she had covered her face. And he turned unto her by the way and said,
Look, now there's something very important. Men talking about women ought to be covered all up. Covering up was a harlot look. So they don't want you to see nothing but their eyes. That's what the seduction is. They don't want to see you may recognize.
Right.
You Earl's wife. A lot of people say, man, what did Earl do something to you in the day? No, it's just a common name that, it fit every description. Like Charlie. Charlie or Charlie, Chollie, Charlie. Or like you see Mike Epps, his favorite is Tony. You know, Tony always doing something. Whatever he do is Tony. Go ahead. Huh? Yeah, we need 2 guys. Go ahead. Go ahead, y'all. Let's finish this up.
Verse 16.
What it say?
And he turned unto her by the way and said, Go to, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee.
Right.
For he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law.
Right.
And she said, What wilt thou give me, that thou mayest come in unto me?
Look, she ain't gonna even be a free male.
No. Right.
Huh? Nope. She a harlot. I mean, she's dressed up like all, but she know the harlot rules. What kind of paper you got? Trick? I mean, Judas? Let's get it.
Verse 17. And he said, I will send thee a kid from the flock.
Y'all know how much a kid work? I'm gonna give you a kid. This boy is on fire. His wife done died. He been holding out, and now here's a harlot, and he done sipped that wine. Like I say, read the testament of the 12 patriarchs. Read Judah. It goes into this in detail. He's gonna lay it out online. He said, man, I was full of that good wine, and I was talking reckless, and he said, I gave away the staff. Get into that, y'all, if y'all want to see blow by blow detail. Read some more, bro. Go ahead.
And he said, I will send thee a kid from the flock.
Right.
And she said, Wilt thou give me a pledge till thou send it?
See, so she like, look, I ain't going off your words. I need something to know you coming back. Yeah, you can just do this and be gone in the wind. I may never see you again. I need something right now. You got some collateral. What'd she say? What'd he say?
And he said, What pledge shall I give thee? And she said, Thy signet. And thy bracelet. And thy staff. That is in thine hand. And he gave it her.
And he did what?
He gave it her.
He gave her the inheritance, the fourth tribe rights, and his staff that lists his lineage. Judah, from Jacob, from Isaac, from Abraham, from Shem, and so forth. He gave her that too. Just trying to get that robe off.
No doubt in the Rolex.
What you need, little mama.
That's what he said, boy. Go ahead.
And came in unto her, and she conceived by him. And
so he raw dogging what he appears to be a harlot.
A harlot, right.
It's a whole nother problem. He raw dogging.
Yep. A stranger. He joined himself.
Huh?
That he ain't even seen her face.
Ain't even seen her face. Don't know who she been with. And like I say, when you get into that book, where she went and where she hung out is a place that them Canaanites, their women, according to their rules, get to sow their wild oats. They go hang out and let every man have them before they get married. Yeah, it's called mattress back row. So that's where she went. Because it was known, the host roll. That's where he went. And that's where she went because she knew he was coming through that way. So she dressed up like that. But when you read in her, that was the deal. Women would go and have multiple relationships before they got married. That was the customs of the Canaanite.
So the term where the holes at came from that?
Yes, sir. That's where it is. In different area codes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all look, they're just singing the sin. Hollywood don't want to pay for singing for righteousness. If you sing for sin, you'll be able to pop bottles. You'll get all the wealth. It's going to happen like this. And you see, but there's no free males. You see what happened with Chad Brown right now, don't you? Antonio Brown had a $30 million contract with Oakland. Went from that to and then he went from that to New England. They paid him $15 million for 1 year. But now they done got rid of him. So technically, they only on the hook for one game. $158,000 a game he was making. So he done went from $30 million to $158,000 that he may get, but ain't nobody else gonna pick him up because of the filth that he was talking about these women on social media. Y'all, this is your consciousness that you put on there, and it never goes away. I don't care what text you did. Before you hit sin, you better wait. I I can tell him how I really, whoa, I can tell her. Don't you hit sin. Because when you read what he wrote to her, Antonio Brown, he the one made that dance kicking in the, you know, all the youngsters.
Oh, straight up, that's the one?
He didn't make that dance.
He did. That's Antonio Brown. Yes, sir. That's his dance. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's
stage.
Yeah.
Let's show you how much we pay attention to sports.
So all I'm just saying is, what he wanted for free, just attacking her, like she said, he just pushed her down and had his way with her. 30 million, gone. Gone like good candy. 30 million, gone. Nike dropped him. All about he wanted to cuss a woman out about his free male activity that he had with her and called her broke and all these names. They like, you can't play for us.
Right.
You cannot play for us. You go somewhere else with that.
He ain't learned nothing.
So y'all, this is what we talk about, and they tell them the rules of these things, that these things gonna happen to you. Keep your nose clean. Do not push sin unless you sure if anybody showed you this, you are able to stand on it. He wasn't supposed to see that text. Who showed him? If he wasn't supposed to see it, you wasn't supposed to send it.
Right.
Let's keep moving. What you got? Anybody got something? Go ahead, bro.
I was saying the reason why they don't let them push righteousness in these songs because the powers that be know that if you ever turn to righteousness, the rules will be over. So they're about
Absolutely.
to keep you 1568.
Well, look, you get a reward for singing sin. You get to pop all the bottles you want. You get a whole bunch of women, but guess what? All them women, and you full of them bottles, some of them women are a man.
Yep.
You think Malik Yoba?
Oh my goodness.
He got tricked so much he started liking it.
He started liking it. No, he didn't say nobody. Did he say Dave Chappelle? He trying to call out Dave Chappelle too? He telling on everybody. Now I heard him talk about Eddie Murphy. But Flame Monroe said about Eddie Murphy. That's the transvestite that's a comedian, was on Def Jam. She the one that first said that one sister looked like Wesley Snipes. And she went off on she said, Cheryl Underwood, she said, I'm a real woman. You trying to be what I am. You trying to call tomorrow I look like Wesley. But now she kind of saying she looked like Wesley. But still, she's a real woman versus this. And guess what Flame Monroe said? She said, the only people I can't fool is children. Children look at her and say, you's a man. You's a man. Yeah, they can't fool children. Children of the innocent, they can see the aura on them.
Yep.
They're like, you's a man. But look, you get in there and look, he named Teddy Pendergrass. That was a transvestite in the car with Teddy Pendergrass when he ran into that tree. He digging over in there and, oh! This ain't what Donald Trump said. Boom, boom. Paralyzed ever since.
Yep. He did.
That comes with Hollywood.
See.
You got what I need.
Yeah.
What I didn't need.
Right, go ahead. Let's finish this up, y'all. Let's finish this up, y'all.
Verse 19.
What it say?
And she arose and went away and laid by her veil from her and put on the garments of her widowhood.
So she put back on her other garments after being with. Now, most people would say, look at this wicked woman. Look at this low down, dirty woman would trick her father-in-law and know it's him. But who's in wrong first? What was Judah supposed to do? Give her Shelah. So let's read some more. Go ahead.
And he shouldn't have been drunk.
And he shouldn't have been drunk. Go ahead.
And Judah sent the kid by the hand of his friend the Adulamite to receive his pledge from the woman's hand. But he found her not.
He like, look, man, take this, man. This is, come on, man. Little skis are up there, man. You know, on Mattress Back Road. Yep. You know, she got my stuff, man. Take it, this man. Get my stuff back. He like, okay, you know, you been on Mattress Back Avenue?
I'll just pass it through.
Okay, I'll just pass it through. But he went to go, his Adulamite friend, go get my stuff. Go ahead.
Then he asked the men of that place,
right,
saying, where is the harlot that was openly by the wayside? And they said, there was no harlot in this place. And he returned to Judah and said, I cannot find her. And also the men of the place said, that there was no harlot in this place. And Judah said, damn!
Yeah, that's what he said. Boy, because he knew what was going on. Yeah. He like it's gold, all my jewels gone.
I couldn't help it, bro.
I know you couldn't, bro. Let's get some more.
Because it's getting good. Read on.
And Judah said, let her wait a minute.
Yeah.
He said, let her take it to her, lest we be shamed. Behold, I sent this kid, and thou hast not found her. And it came to pass about 3 months after.
About how long?
About 3 months after.
Uh-huh.
That it was told Judah, saying, Tamar, thy daughter-in-law hath played the harlot. And also, behold, she is with child by whoredom.
Uh-oh.
And Judah said, damn!
Yeah.
And Judah said,
Bring her ass here.
bring her forth and let her be burnt.
Let her be what?
Burnt.
See, because she's
He
3
trying to
months
cover up the
pregnant now.
transgression.
She's showing now.
He want to cover it up.
Yeah.
She's 3 months pregnant. Well, no, he don't
You
know.
don't know it's her.
He didn't know that was her playing the harlot. Because she had her face covered. He don't know. He finna put punishments on her. But his staff is gone still.
Right.
His bracelet is still gone. And he finna exact punishment on his daughter-in-law. Let's read some more.
Verse 25.
What it say?
When she was brought forth, she sent to her father-in-law, saying, by the man whose these are, am I with child? And she said, discern, I pray thee, whose are these, the signet and bracelets and staff.
Uh-oh.
He know now.
She like, here, this who I'm pregnant by, here his stuff. This, his stuff. That's who impregnated me. And they running the list. And the son of Abraham. And the son of Isaac. And the Judah. You really saying permanent.
Yeah.
Let's read.
Verse 26.
Uh-huh.
And Judah acknowledged them.
What'd he do?
He acknowledged them.
Look, the best thing he could have did, man, that's my stuff, man. Man, that's my stuff. I've been looking for that. Man, that's my stuff. Go ahead.
He wasn't sitting there thinking, want to get away?
No, he wasn't up, bro. Go ahead.
And Judah acknowledged them and said, she has been more righteous than I.
She has been what?
More righteous than I.
Uh-huh.
Because that I gave her not to Shelah, my son.
Uh-huh.
And he knew her again no more.
What did he do?
Knew her again no more.
Didn't touch her. Never again. But she's off limits to his son even now. Because a father is recorded. Never ever can go into a daughter or daughter-in-law. A mother can never ever go into a son or son-in-law. So he knew he could never touch her ever again. You know, because that's confusion. Look, if she'd have married Shelah and that baby was born, that was going to be his brother uncle. Would it be? How would that
that's
be?
it, brother.
Yeah.
But now in this case, if she gives birth to a boy, would it be named Judah or
Well, it all depends on what they name. But it's going to tell you what they're going to name him.
Right, that's what I'm
but
saying.
I'm just saying, if in that situation where he was at, what does the child call his mom? Or what does he call Shelah, the other brother? It's his brother and his uncle.
Yep.
Granddaddy, daddy?
Yeah, granddaddy.
Brother, daddy. That's Judah's son.
Hey, hear all this confusion? That's what it is.
Yeah, boy, all this confusion we're talking about, trying to figure it out. That's the reason why, y'all. It causes confusion. Let's read some more, y'all. Let's finish that out.
Okay. And it came to pass in the time of her travail that, behold, twins were in her womb. And it came to pass when she travailed that the one put out his hand, and the midwife took and bound upon his hand a scarlet thread, saying, this came out first.
And that's how they identified the firstborn of twins. If it's 2 seconds apart, we put the thread on so we don't get them mixed up who's the oldest. Like Esau came out before Jacob. He's the elder. The elder should serve the younger, even though it was by minutes. Let's read some more.
Verse 29. And it came to pass, as he drew back his hand, that behold, his brother came out. And she said, how hast thou broken forth? This breach be upon thee. Therefore his name was called Phared. And afterward came out his brother, that had the scarlet thread upon his hand. And his name was called Zara.
So the bloodline got corrected with these twins. Christ descended from these boys. But there was a righteous act because the law was broke. Once Judah acknowledged his wrongdoing, every party acknowledged their wrongdoing. So now the Most High put a fix in. Is it going to cause trouble? Yeah, it's going to be trouble because she's got a bad name and he's got a bad name in Israel. It don't go away. It was finger pointing. What you got, like?
It just shows how the Most High said, well, if you acknowledge your sins,
Yeah, that's right. 1 John chapter 2, he said, if you acknowledge your sin, I'm faithful to forgive you. But if you don't, more trouble, you got some side effects coming. More trouble coming, y'all. But did we finish that up?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, y'all. So, y'all, we out of time. We got some things to, talk about. And for all y'all, if y'all ain't, look, y'all know camping, Feast of Tabernacles. We doing it. October the 17th through the 21st. We got a few spots open, y'all, but y'all got to get in there now, y'all. So let me know after class if y'all plan on attending. We got a couple slots left open for our out-of-town guests, but we will not be able to pick you up from the airport and all that because we out in the woods.
Right.
If you're going to come to this tabernacle, you must be driving. Bring all your stuff with you so you can get loaded up and get out of there because we may not have cell phone signals out there. It come and go. Sometimes you see people by the road doing like this, trying to get a signal, so we cannot put ourselves in a position to go pick you up from the airport, bring you there and try to get you back. It'll be a burden for us to do it like that, y'all. But that don't mean y'all can't do tabernacles at your own home and set up your booths. But y'all, we gonna be at our location from the 17th of October to the 21st. We've added an extra day. So y'all, we can really get in there and enjoy ourselves, and we gonna see what it was like at the Feast of Tabernacles, y'all. And this is what we practicing for, Zechariah 14 chapter. That's the Feast of Tabernacles, what we do for 7 days. Y'all, what it is to see, can you get along with each other for 7 days? Because guess what? You starting out as 1,000 years if you make it to the kingdom. If you can't do 7 days, ain't no way you can do 1,000 years. So just a short period of time to see if we can get along and understand what it's like to live out in the wilderness and help each other survive and see how we get along to get through the night out there in the wilderness. Y'all, with that, I ain't got no more. What they saying out there, 2x? They ain't saying nothing out there?
Wonderful lesson.
Outstanding. Shouts out to my brother Chase down there in the ATL, Chase Little and his family. Also, shouts out to Sister Maduke out there in Memphis, Tennessee.
Michael, if you would, I know you know somebody here, send them your number so they can get it to me so we can text each other. Brother Michael out there.
Like I say, y'all, we're gonna get this prayer and close out. But if y'all hang on, I got a quick 3-minute video, y'all. Y'all know I'm doing the one-hitters that break it down quickly, saved by grace. What does it really mean, y'all? We're going to go over these so you don't get into a long, drawn-out battle with somebody that's saying, I'm saved, and the law is nailed to the cross. There's some problems according to these scriptures, but this is what they say, and this is what they're standing on. But these will bust them in twain. And we're gonna get that right after class, y'all, if we get this prayer on. And y'all see when we talk about law reigns supreme, how it was the law that everybody through all of that brother And that situation with brothers and widows and all of that, the law was going on that, and people was trying to circumvent the law and doing different things. But when you mess up, that's what's called keeping the law. When somebody say you can't keep the law, just ask them which one. You can't stop stealing. You can't quit fornicating. You can't quit coveting your neighbor's stuff. Which one you can't keep? But they don't understand what keeping means. Like Judah broke the law of not giving Shelah. He fixed it because he said, I'm worthy of death, not her. And then he did the righteous thing, didn't touch it no more. So the law was kept. It was broke and it was fixed, and it was never done again. So that's keeping the law. When you break it, you got to know how to fix it. But the law reigns supreme. Yes, sir. He wasn't sorry that he got caught.
That was repentance before Christ.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right, we're going to get this closed in prayer with the Most High's permission. In the name of his only begotten Son, our uncrowned King, our Lord and Savior, Yahushua HaMashiach. Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms, in the 28th chapter, and it reads, Unto thee will I cry, O Yahweh, my rock. Be not silent to me, lest, if thou be silent to me, I become like them that go down into the pit. Hear the voice of my supplications when I cry unto thee, when I lift up my hands toward thy holy oracle. Draw me not away with the wicked and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts. Give them according to their deeds, and according to the wickedness of their endeavors. Give them after the work of their hands. Render to them their desert. Because they regard not the works of the Most High.
That's right.
Nor the operation of his hands. He shall destroy them and not build them up. Blessed be the Most High, because he hath heard the voice of my supplications. Yahweh is my strength and my shield. My heart trusted in him, and I am helped. Therefore, my heart greatly rejoices, and with my song will I praise him. Yahweh is their strength, and he is the saving strength of his anointing. Save thy people, save thy people, and bless thine inheritance. Feed them also, and lift them up forever. Hallelujah! Say what?
If y'all got a shepherd or two, y'all, we greatly appreciate it. Hey, if any of y'all want to deal with Tabernacles, y'all need to holler at me. At least y'all need to get your name on the list. Because we're going to the store in a week or two and we need to know. Just put your name on the list.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Huh?